How electrifying.
7 3-pointers. It's that kind of week.
What's going on here? That's how dominant they played.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Do the honors.
we've changed our name to No Rules, Just Sports. Oh, hello.
Oh,
Everyone.
hello there.
Oh, hello.
What up, Gunga Gang?
Oh,
Oh, come on. Don't do that.
Nah, I'm playing. What up, everybody? What up, everybody? Welcome to No Rules, Just Sports. Man, we're here. It's a Wednesday. I know. We know. We had some stuff had to take care of yesterday. Had some personal stuff to take care of yesterday. So we moved the show. That's going to happen a couple times in December. Y'all just stay tuned, man. But we appreciate everybody being out here, man. I got my boy Matty Ice above me. You got E to the other side, and I got my boy King Rusa over there. Let everybody know what's going on. How y'all feeling, man?
Hey, man, it's my favorite time of the week.
Good, man. Feeling real good.
Real good.
Absolutely.
I'm
It's my favorite time of the
being
week.
sick. I'm done being sick. I feel I have energy this show. It's a good day to be alive.
Amen to that.
Hell
We got a jam-packed show, so we might as well just get into it, man, like right away. No
Let's do
time.
it.
I mean, we got UFC, we got boxing, we got NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, college football. I mean, damn, and we're not even touching college basketball. Wait till we get into that. So,
Yeah.
y'all stay tuned. Strap in. We're going to try and cover as much as possible, as quickly as possible. Without further ado, let's jump into some boxing.
Ding, ding. I wish we had a bell.
Yeah. E.
I need to figure out some shit, huh?
I want to start collecting like a soundboard. Like, you know, a
Yeah,
little
I
thing.
know. I do have one somewhere.
Dude.
I just don't. It's too much work. Going into it, y'all. Everybody saw the fight. I mean, or if you didn't, you live under a rock, and if you didn't hear about it, you live under a rock.
Are you sure everyone saw the fight? Or
Actually, I'm still loading the 10. I'm still loading. My fight's still loading. So let me know who won. No, it was
Good one.
It was rough. It was a rough fight, but let's go over some pointers here. Tyson versus Jake Paul, man. Tyson 58, Jake Paul 27, man. The scorecard at the end of the fight was 80-72 Paul, 79-73 Paul, 79-73 Paul. Jake as the winner. It was very apparent. I've been after letting it settle and watching the TikTokers and everybody start breaking down the fight. There's a lot of reaches talking about that it was a thrown fight. There was a lot of this and that, and I can break down. We have a video of somebody breaking it down and talking about how it was rigged. But there are some moments that I can tell y'all that's not a part of the rigging, I guess you can call it. But before we get into that video, I just want to talk about Jake Paul only landed 78 punches. This is the sources from CopyBox. Jake Paul only landed 78 punches. Tyson's bare ass was just, yeah.
Almost like he wasn't ready.
Trust me, I'm going to talk about that.
so
78 landed punches, and he threw 278.
to that point, do you think that it was like maybe him taking a little bit light on Tyson?
Sure. There's a class action lawsuit happening against. Are you serious, Britt?
Wow. And to think that's crazy because they have 2 games on Christmas Day coming up on with the NFL.
Oh yeah, and it was bad. Like it was bad. Tyson only landed 18 punches, man. Threw 97 with an 18% of target, man. Tyson didn't land a single punch in the 4th or the 6th. That's crazy. Didn't land a single punch.
Doesn't even seem like he threw 97.
Yeah.
It was so he was just so like hesitant. He was just slow. He's just not there. It's not the same.
Drew says Netflix has got to stick with what they know. I agree, man. I get it. You're trying to expand your horizons and you're trying to do some different shit. But here we go. Now it's another app that we have to download to watch NFL football, to watch basketball now, to watch NHL. It's like, God damn, like the richer keep getting rich, and it's just so fucking annoying.
Coaching the streaming apps.
WWE.
Yeah, and they have the WWE. So I mean, maybe this is like a thing to help them fix it. I don't know. But I mean, with all that being said, I mean, to go back to Drew's point, man, it was a terrible fight. I knew it was a joke all along when but what solidified it to me was when they interviewed Tyson and he walked away and his ass was out, literally. And I was like, what is this? And it was like this corny, like comic relief kind of thing. Like, what is this, WWE? Like, no offense to wrestling, but that's like some WWE shit.
That's fair.
You can't pretend like, oh, we didn't know that he was like that. Bro, he walked up to you for the interview. You know what I'm saying? It's like this corny. It just wasn't, to me, it wasn't funny. And I do agree. I think Jake, the fight was boring. Jake Paul knew that Tyson, I don't know if he was hurt. I just think his age was showing. And I did respect the fact that Jake Paul pulled back on the reins and didn't beat up on him. So I do respect that a lot about the whole fight, you know.
I don't know. I have a different take about the fight.
Tyson's showed.
Just rewatching it back to back. Tyson didn't throw a lot of punches that he wanted to throw either.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There was like this. I like this one clip they showed. Literally, he's been in the same scenario multiple times and threw the same punch, and you saw him go to do the counter, and then he just fucking stopped. Like, why? He didn't even like he drew back. Like, he would have fucking leveled him, but he didn't throw the punch. It's like, so that's like I didn't really want to get into. I didn't really think it was like a whole fixed thing. But the more I keep like it's not even. I don't even listen to the people talk. So that's one thing I don't like to do. I like to formulate my own shit. I'm just watching stuff on mute, just rewatching certain highlights and like replays, slow motion. It's like, why did he like he didn't let his instinct be there. He pulled back.
Yeah,
and it's like did he do that because of a fix or is it because of his age? You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
So funny you say that. I kind of have something here. That fight was supposed to happen July 20th, but it got set back to this weekend that had just passed because of medical issues. Tyson says, I was training and I was doing great. As we've seen, you know, in all his videos, those videos of him going crazy, sliding like old Tyson, you're like, holy shit, this is him. And he said, I was great. I was training. Then all of a sudden I started feeling kind of tired, and I tried explaining it to my trainer and that I don't know what's wrong with me. And then all of a sudden he started throwing up blood, and
that's fucking crazy.
It was a massive ulcer from what I read up on. My man lost 25 pounds in 11 days and needed 8 blood transfusions. That's crazy. I know we want to jump on the boat that it was fixed, and I do see it, man. I'm a huge boxing fan. I'm Puerto Rican, baby. Island of great boxers, great heritage. Miguel Cotto, Felix Trinidad. You got Xander Zayas coming up. You know, those are the guys that I grew up watching, and there's many more outside of that. But that's before my time of watching. But those are the guys that I grew up on watching, and that's a lot, man. To go through that, you're talking about the fight was supposed to happen July 20th. They had to cancel the fight, move it back. Now, I couldn't find the actual date when he had all this stuff happen, but to lose 25 pounds in 11 days, that's fucking hard to overcome. That's really difficult to overcome, and then get 8 blood transfusions on top of that, and to still come out there and fight. You can kind of see it at times where he was struggling to just breathe. Not, I wouldn't say breathe, but just be him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It takes a toll on your body.
I mean,
That's
you
for
can
sure.
see it when he sat down in the corner.
Yeah.
You can really see it in his face. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see it in his face.
So I think that's my take on it. I mean, we can hit this over the head and jump on this board of it was rigged and it was that. I mean, are there punches that I saw where he pulled back? Yes.
But like you said, also, Paul did the same shit. He kind of let up
Right.
too. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just one of them scenarios. It's like, do I think it was rigged? No. But I definitely think that there were some things going on. Like, they both weren't boxing at their full level. And
Right.
was it because of his health? Did they have a conversation about it beforehand? I mean, you don't really know what happens before and after. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that could have easily been something like that.
You guys got
worse.
anything?
I think he should have just retired.
Yeah, it kind of put a
Retired a
stain
while
on his
ago.
legacy a little bit, I think.
I said the
honestly.
same shit. I said, I was
Yeah.
like, man, it's like, I don't think it stained his legacy, but like, why would you want that to be like, I would have went out there and fucking put everything. If I would have died in the ring, I died in the ring. Like, if I'm putting my legacy on the line this many years later, especially because if you
Okay.
think about his last interview in the ring when he was like, I'm not going to box anymore because I just don't have it in me. I don't have that will to want to fight anymore. It would be disrespectful to the sport, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So to go from so obviously you knew then you didn't have it, and now you're older. You know, if you watch his podcast and watch all of his thing, like he's calmed down a lot. Like a lot of things have changed in him. So it's like, why even put yourself in a position to even do that? You know what I mean? Like you already knew you didn't have it in you fucking 20 years ago. So why? I mean, I get it. It's a paycheck. I mean, cool. I would do it too. Fuck it. If I'm 6 years old, you can knock my ass out for fucking 10 million. I don't give a shit. You know?
I agree.
So you can knock
Sounds
me
like
out for $1,000
I
right
say
now. I'll do it.
I say it stains his legacy. Reason being, if he was to go and do a WWE match and he did all this, it doesn't stain his legacy. No, he went out there, he trained, almost died, still goes out there, and then partakes in this circus. And I call it a circus because he sits there and allows them to record him ass cheeks out. You go into the ring and then this happens. And this whole thing about everybody talking about the mouthpiece coming out or he's biting it because he's got a biting fetish because he's frustrated. No, that is a boxing training where if you're struggling to keep your guard up, his coach taught him bite that glove to hold your guard up. It'll force you to keep that hand up here versus it dropping down and then leaving your jaw wide open to get struck.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think this stains the legacy of Mike Tyson. I think from the start, at least I can say that it looked like a cash grab from day one. When they announced the fight,
I completely agree, Drew.
An old man Tyson fighting Jake Paul, a YouTuber. Now, let me give respect to Jake Paul because I do think that he is legitimately capable of boxing at a good enough level.
No,
Has
he's
his
not.
opponents been like, has excuse me, has his opponents been respectable? Not so much. When he's fought a actual legitimate active boxer, he lost. But I do have to give him credit. He trains hard, he works hard. He's not just some like stuck up rich kid that like, oh, he thinks he can box. No, the guy can box. He's boxing a 58-year-old
60.
Mike Tyson. This is post cocaine Tyson. I mean, this is like, he's so far from that guy. And you want to believe it, just like you said, you watch these training clips, these practice clips, and you're like, oh, I really want to believe that guy is there. Mike Tyson said it a long time ago. That person is gone. He's gone. Like, he just does not have that in him. He fought war for such a long time, and then the war left him. He's achieved peace in his life. It's not the same guy. So I can't take it like this. to me, this fight is a moment, but it's not a moment that's touching the legacy of Tyson. Tyson's legacy is one of the greatest boxers of all time, one of the most aggressive boxers of all time. And, you know, his decline was very rapid and it was very evident when he needed to hang it up, which was a long time ago. And if he doesn't retire after this, oh my God, like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. I look, man. Hey, Drew said it perfectly. We got to bring back post prison Tyson, bro. When
did y'all see that
When
the
he
interview of him talking about prison?
no. Let's talk about the fight when he fought Peter McNeely from Boston, Mass, and he beat the dog shit out of him, knocked him out in the first round, I think twice. Come on, dude. I used to watch Tyson highlights all the time. It just gets you hyped because when he would just sit there in the ring, bro, dude didn't wear socks. Dude, he didn't wear no fancy shit. He just walked out into the ring and was ready to brawl. And when he would sit there and you know the boxers would be bobbing back and forth, he's just sitting there following him with his eyes.
He was scary.
Yeah.
He was just scary.
But
And then he
they
goes
had
there and he's living.
they had this interview of him talking about being in prison, and he was like legit said that was the best hit. That was when he was at most peace, was being in prison because he didn't have to hide himself. He could just be himself.
Yeah,
Dude, I'll find that interview and send it to y'all. When it was fucking crazy the way he talked about it. He because the guy was like, you don't like. How is that your favorite part of your life? And you have all this millions from fighting and this lavish lifestyle. You had all this. She's like, I was at peace with myself in there. I was like, what? This dude just said that the best time of his life was in prison. It's fucking wild.
Yeah. Well, hey, he got himself a nice little chunk of change, man. Can't complain. It is what it is. It was not a good fight. It was, and then Netflix really dropped the ball. But I do want to talk about a good fight, and I want to talk about a robbery that happened during that fight.
Should have been the main card.
One last thing.
What should have been the main card.
Yeah.
Was just Serrano versus Taylor. Okay, part 2, because they already had fought once.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk about this really quick. All three judges scored the fight 95-94 in a split decision, obviously going to Taylor. Taylor winning the fight. Here's my problem. Serrano outpunched her with landed punches, 107 landed punches. And I get it. Overpower, blah, 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 blah. If you watch the fight, they were all great punches. She outlands her 107. Homegirl gets a headbutt deduction. And she still wins the fight. Yeah, only one. After she got the point deduction, she got warned again 2 more times after that. She should have got them more removed. Play that clip, man. That shit's fair. Split her wide open.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Wide open. And I would pull up more, but most of the clips that I could find would show the huge gash. And I don't want to get us flagged or anything. So that headbutt, it really did, man. I just don't understand where you land, in what world you land 107 punches over your opponent, get headbutted about 5 times in the match, and you still lose the fight. She was robbed, man. She was robbed.
Absolutely.
Saul, we watched it together, and like you said, the eye test. If you're watching a fight, there's a couple of things that go into factor. You watch the eye test, you watch the fight. Who you really think won? I think Serrano still won. Then you look at the stats and you're like, okay, 100 more punches landed. That's not thrown, it's landed. They didn't show a stat on TV for the significant strikes, which is important too. It was just a robbery, a point deduction, multiple.
But I think it's funny.
No interference.
I love that you said that, Damien, because how did Floyd Mayweather win some of his fights? He would just outland punches. Because why? He would throw that weak-ass jab, and he would just score up on that jab, right?
And then he'd go crazy later in the fight.
But even then, it's not like he always got knockouts. His fights were long and boring.
He would just piece you up more towards the end because you were tired.
So, and he would outland his opponents, and split decision goes to him.
Of course.
So when I see people arguing, I mean, we can have the conversation, but I mean, I can understand if it's a close fight or whatever, but this was, to me, was almost just too one-sided. I do feel like Taylor got a little bit more momentum, like in the 8th, 9th, in the 10th. But at that point, Serrano had been headbutted like fucking 15 times. And that girl's coming in with a hard-ass head, dude. Like, if you watch the videos and you watch them, they're not gentle. And I get it. There are boxers that play that up close and they're tight. That's why I like Miguel Cotto. Miguel Cotto was that boxer. He was in your face and he would go headbutt, forehead to forehead on you, and then you're just in there fighting. But even with a guy like that, he wasn't headbutting people.
Can we put that comment back up real quick?
Which one? The last one?
Sean's. The last one that just came in. Yeah. And you know what? I don't want to say I agree because like I'm not a boxing professional. I'm a guy who just watches occasionally and tries to keep up with it. But every single time I watch boxing, it's so different from UFC, and not just like the sport, but in terms of like I'm always like left like confused by the results. When it always goes to decision, I'm always like scratching my head of like why. And maybe it's just like I just don't understand the sport, but like when I see the statistics and I watch the fight, and I could tell a good boxing fight, like it's always as of recently, I could say I've been so confused at a lot of like decisions, and it's just like something's got to be going on. I don't know.
I've been watching, so I mean, we can say it about a lot of sports. Referees have been under heavy scrutiny this year. Horrible. I mean, the last few years, let's be real. Last few years, they've been under heavy scrutiny. But I watch boxing a lot, and I'm not trying to defend the sport. I'm not. But I watched Xander Zayas, and he came up from top rank, and he's just moving up in the ranks. He's the next up and coming great Puerto Rican boxer. And I've been watching his fights. I just watched one of his ones recently. He fought this Mexican dude, tough ass head. He couldn't knock him down. Great fight. Hey. But even when it comes down to decision, he was winning the fight handfully, and he wins. You know what I'm saying? That's how it's supposed to be. When this happens, it puts a black mark over my sport. And I love boxing, man. Like, I do love boxing. I love watching. I like boxing over UFC. UCF or UFC, whatever it is. Yeah.
UFC, you keep saying UCF, man. You got to get it right.
I was literally just kidding.
You keep saying UCF, I'm going to say go nice charge on every time, man.
I said it once, and then I said it again just to see what you would do.
No, you said it at least 5 times now. Dating back to like a couple weeks ago.
I said it literally twice.
Okay, all right, twice. All right.
But nevertheless, I like it. I like boxing better. And then we can have the conversation, well, da 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 da. Well, you've seen UFC guys come into the ring and try and box because it's such an easy sport and they can't hang.
Oh, it's not an easy sport by any means.
It's not. So
we need to kill that narrative.
I'm not saying the boxers are going to go.
There's too many fundamentals on each side. You can't.
Exactly.
It's just like jumping from football to basketball, and all that shit. I mean, only select few people can do it.
Respect your own sport. Don't try to.
There's a fundamental, and that's why they're professionals in that particular sport, because they have those fundamentals down. It's a whole different world.
It's true. But and I agree. A card like this like when stuff like that happens, and you feel like one side has been robbed, and then you feel like the main card is just some cash grab. It really does. It leaves a black mark, because this is like one of the most viewed boxing events currently. Like this is what people really, really pay to see, because it's like celebrities. And it does leave a black mark, because this is their impression of boxing. A lot of first-time viewers, this is what they see. and it's bad. So
and then what ends up happening is when you get a good fight about to come through, like now nobody's gonna want to watch it, because now if that was your first impression of boxing, you're gonna be like, this shit's whack, and it kills it. It's unfortunate. I hate it. I think we're good. I think that pretty much covers boxing. If you want to go into what is it? UWUFA. What is it? I forgot what it's called.
UFC.
I really just want to talk about the GOAT.
The kick heard around the world.
Kick heard around the world. Oh my
Yeah.
God! Who thought a body kick could do this much damage?
That's
It's
crazy.
just so underrated. So underrated. You want to play the clip?
Yes, sir.
Big kick to the body by John. Oh, we heard him back. He heard him back. That's it. That's it.
Still! How good is Johnny Bones? How good? That right hand.
Look at this.
That's nasty.
Spinning back kick to the body. Oh, right to the rib cage. And just crumpled him. And as tough as Stipe is, when a guy like that goes down, you know that had to shatter some ribs. I mean, this is beautiful. Look at this. Tucked under, all heel.
You imagine how that fucking felt.
Shattered
I'm
ribs.
telling you right now, if I get kicked by John Jones with that kick in my fucking ribs, liver area, I'm immediately shitting myself.
Shattered ribs. We're
Yes.
talking about like organs here. We're talking organs here. We're talking way more than ribs. Like,
Bro, I'm gonna be embarrassed. I'm gonna shit myself, dude.
I would not want to live after being kicked by John Jones. That would be horrible.
He said, I'm going to shit myself.
He had a rib fracture, a kidney and spleen laceration.
Jesus Lord,
Cool.
man.
I'm surprised it was just that.
Hold on, let me bring back my notes. Stipe's last fight. Stipe is the guy that John Jones fought. March 27th, 2022. John Jones also, his last fight was March 4th, 2023. Stipe's last fight, he got knocked out by Francis Ngannou. I mean, he's a very decorated fighter, Stipe, but to come back 2 years later and have to fight John Jones, yikes, you know? It was bad. It was a great fight. Let me just say that it was a great fight. Stipe retires after the fight because
I mean,
You guys ever watch? Hold on, you guys.
hey,
did you guys ever watch-
he just got kicked out of the league.
no, not the
flag on the play.
That's a flag on the play.
Here's the thing, man. See, now I lost my train of thought. Damn it. I would retire too out of the league, especially after I just shit myself. But no, listen, you guys ever watch the movie The Longest Yard?
Yes.
Yes.
He goes, I think I just made him shit himself. Yeah, that's what happened right there. He did shit himself. Yeah, that's what just happened. That's what happened.
Early on in that fight, funny enough, I thought it was going to be over in the first round. John Jones gets on top, and he's just. And another thing that I would just die is just John Jones' elbow. He just goes to town. He's on top, just elbowing right to your face. How does a person survive that? Like, how do you? I just couldn't.
It's crazy, man.
A psychopath.
John Jones has just such a nasty elbow.
Yeah.
No wonder they call him the GOAT. That man could do anything. Anything he wants to do, he's gonna do. He's undefeated for a reason.
Absolutely.
Well said.
It's just not much to say. I mean, this is the same story. Every time you talk about John Jones after a fight, it's, well, what do you expect?
I think the craziest part about him is his
Like the Chiefs.
longevity. To have that kind of
Yeah, his
longevity
longevity.
in the
In a
UFC
fighting sport like
of
that, yeah.
anything,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people can't do that. And that's, I think somebody was like talking about that. It's like, when is he gonna finally slow down? Like, this man's just still doing this thing.
I'm not gonna lie. I know I understand it's a little controversial, but I loved his post game interview, man.
It was great.
Praising, God, and then just talking about that he loves the United States, and then he starts cheering USA, and it was just like, dude's like, he's a chill dude. Like how can you not like him?
He's not an asshole.
No,
No,
he's not.
man.
He's he. I can't say it enough, man. He's the GOAT. He's awesome.
Oh, Drew, bro.
John Jones versus his wife.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
But
Does he have a bad background or something?
I don't know. I don't think so. We should probably look that up before we start.
Yeah. Praise him.
He doesn't seem like he wants to retire. I mean, I after his career, I would have retired.
Yeah.
Retire on top.
Finish on top, yeah. Because I mean, that's the problem. That's the problem with UFC is they keep going for so long and they get worn down, and then they start taking a bunch of losses. Then they want to retire.
Yeah,
which I get it.
I think they want a guy to put them out. That's what it happens, you know.
Yeah.
They're like, I want somebody to prove that I'm not invincible and really put me out of this sport for good. Maybe that's what he wants. I know he wants more belts.
Is that all you got, buddy?
Yeah, that's it for the UFC.
That is it for UCF. UFC. My bad. Nah, just kidding, y'all. I respect the sport, man. It's a battle. Those warriors are in there. It's all jokes, man. I'm just messing with y'all, but it's a battle in that octagon, and just like it's a battle in that ring, man. It's great television to see, man. Some people like to say it's a little barbaric, but man, two people just going at it. You know, it's not even dudes. You got chicks and then you got dudes doing it. So
it takes a certain level of man to step into a ring.
Animal, I would say.
Animal, yeah, that's true.
It takes a certain kind of dog in you. He's got the dog in him.
Got that dog.
Got those big gungus.
He's got gungus in him. He's got gunga in him. Inside joke between me and my boy. With that being said, y'all, let's jump over to NBA. Got some good stuff here.
Let's go. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
That's just fire.
Sir.
Shout out to E for making these transition videos, man.
I can't wait to see the fighting, the boxing one, or what is that other sport? No, I'm just kidding.
I gotta call John Jones.
You gotta kick the rib cage.
Yeah, God, dude. Let's talk about these standings, man. That's all.
Absolutely.
How we feeling? You get the West. Let me get the East this time.
Okay, cool, man. I'll go.
No. You get the East because your boys are there. Okay?
That's my baby.
How about that?
That's my baby.
Yeah,
that's my baby.
Gotcha.
All right, so rounding out the East, man, going into this week, we always just go over the top three. Top three right now is Cavaliers finally took their first loss. They're still in first place with 15-1, and then the Celtics, the team they lost to, went 12-3. The Orlando Magic, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at 9-6. They got two tough games coming up. More one versus the other. Tonight they play the Clippers. Tomorrow they play the Lakers. That's gonna be a good game. That's a must-watch game. I'll get in a deep dive here with the Orlando Magic in a few minutes. But yeah, that is the top three. We got Cavs, Celtics, Magic, and number 3.
I do want to point out the Knicks are actually one game behind the Magic. They're 8-6. So shout out to them. Also doing fantastic. Magic 6-game win streak.
That's gonna be a hot take.
Hey, we talked about it. We said, could they survive without him? And
they're surviving.
They're thriving right now.
Who's your boy?
No, I gotta save it for. I gotta save it for the thing. But
okay.
I can't help it. Paolo Banchero.
Before we jump to the West, I do want to talk about who's dead last, and I just want to kind of give this team some slack right now. The 76ers are dead last, not only in the East, but in the league.
In the league.
2 for 11.
Rough game. Rough team.
That's bad.
With talent.
They have crazy talent, though. That's what doesn't make any sense. Thinking about no, this is no shade to you. roster-wise, them and the Magic, you would think it would be flip-flop.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Without Paolo, like you would
Oh,
think.
yeah. No,
it
but
would be
it's
flip-flop. It's crazy.
But and I want to save this for my Orlando thing, but we're forgetting Wendell Carter's out too. That's 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Out.
they're missing their 2 biggest pieces. It's rough. And they're
but I'll get it. I digress. We'll get into that. We'll let Damon go into it.
Back to stomping on the Sixers. Yes, you're absolutely right. If you look on paper at the Sixers roster, and I wish I had it pulled up, they have it looks like they have depth. They have a really good team. They have a lot of notable names, and it looks like they should be winning ball games. Unfortunately, they're not. They're abysmal. 30th in points per games in the league, 29th in rebounds per game in the league, 30th in assists per game in the league. They are awful. Awful. Their best player, Joel Embiid, has only played 3 games this season. Versus Miami, played 31 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. Does that sound like an MVP?
It's not good.
Okay.
Not good.
Versus Orlando, 33 minutes, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Solid, not Embiid. Versus the Knicks, 26 minutes, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. All losses. They're horrible.
They really are.
What's wrong? I just don't get it. Is it just the fact that Embiid hasn't played enough games?
So this is the rotation. You got Paul George, Caleb Martin, Joel Embiid, Jared McCain, and Kyle Lowry. Hello?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Holy shit.
I mean, you have Tyrese Maxey.
Unacceptable.
You have, I think Kelly Oubre is also on that roster.
Yep.
I mean, they
Oubre,
have depth. It's just that these
The chemistry's not clicking.
It's true. That is very true.
By the way, they're losing currently to the Memphis Grizzlies 40-33 in the second quarter.
Yes,
They'll probably lose this game anyway. Grizzlies are actually a pretty solid team and
decent team.
Decent.
I hate to say, I'm not a hater. I want them to win. I want them to be successful. They suck.
For sure.
Yeah.
Cavaliers, by the way, we mentioned them. They are hosting the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. They're winning at halftime 69-55.
I think they win that game.
Oh, soundly. They're
Pelicans
without Zion, I believe. I don't think Zion's playing tonight.
Yeah, no Zion.
Pelicans aren't a huge threat, unfortunately, for them. But let's go west.
Let's get it.
Warriors.
Coming from the west side.
Warriors up top, 10-3.
And weren't they down last week? Weren't they down last week? Or were they always up top?
I think they've been up for the last week. So far.
Last week I looked at it and they were number 1 out that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they lost. I think they only lost yesterday.
Good for them because especially after last season and the season before.
It's true.
It's back to square one where they were.
Yep. Now they're back on top.
Indeed.
Without Clay.
Clay.
I actually don't know where the Magic are in the standings, but I know it's not top 3. OKC in second place, 11-4. More wins than the Warriors, but 1 more loss, which puts them right behind them. OKC still dominant.
Currently
Lakers.
playing the Trailblazers. They are trailing the Trailblazers 23-25.
Who? OKC?
OKC.
The Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Lakers.
No, I saw a smile on your face.
6-game win streak.
Whoa, baby.
What up, fat
Let's
boy?
go.
Nah, listen. And I told y'all not to push the panic button, Laker people.
It's true.
It is too early, and look what happened. They're in the top 3. They're in the top 3 right now. And I know, and I get it's still an early season, but hey, nevertheless, the Lakers are still playing really good basketball. So
They are playing great. Having the team centered around AD with JJ Redick as a coach is
JJ Redick, godsend.
Connect last night with 39 points, 9 3-pointers. Whew, that boy caught fire. He was incredible. Incredible. And I also want to touch on the Rockets that are 10-5. Right behind the Lakers, only 1 loss behind, so But at the bottom, at the very bottom, with only one more win than the Sixers, is the Jazz. There's not much to say about the Jazz.
It's just crazy because, like I said, obviously I took a long break from watching basketball, but like the Jazz were always a top 10, top 8 team when I was watching back then. They always had a solid. They didn't go far, but regular season they were always a threat. It's just crazy to see them just drop the way they have.
Yeah, they weren't bottom of the barrel.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Let's go, Magic. How you doing, Q?
I think you could blame it on their roster just not being as strong as other teams, especially in the West. It's tough. You really have to have a super solid roster in the West. And a lot of their guys that are notable are just younger. They're just there's no true like leader. There's no true like, oh my God, like we're playing that guy tonight. Like no, there's great players over there, but they're just not ready. And I think that's the story.
Yeah.
I want to ask y'all something.
What's up?
And I've noticed it the last couple. I guess it was probably yesterday. The court at TD Garden where the Boston Celtics played. Do you guys like that?
They're changing it because it's tournament.
Oh, because it's tournament.
Yeah.
Do you mess with this one though?
Yeah, it's
I like
cool.
them.
I think they're cool. I like the crazy stuff on them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, just like Fat Boy said, make
Yes,
sure you
sir.
hit that like button if you're in here. We appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Follow all of our social media platforms. We appreciate all the interaction in the community.
We got a couple people here talking about let's go Magic. So
yeah.
why not? Let's jump into the Magic, baby.
Jump into it.
Let's do it.
I have fully adopted the Orlando Magic as my team.
Here we go.
And it's been fun, man. We started off the season nice. Paolo with a big 50-point game comeback behind win. Like we were cooking, and then boom, oblique, done. Wendell Carter, done. We go on a 5-game skid. And I was still hopeful, and I said, as long as we go 500, when these boys come back, we're chilling. But we're doing better than that. We're doing better than that. Right now, we are on a 6-game win streak. Damian, drop them scores, dog.
We have, and I'm going to go from recent all the way back to right before their first loss. Actually, I'll talk about their loss in this streak. Most recently, they played the Suns. Now, I must mention, the Suns are Kevin Durant-less. Nonetheless, they are a Western team, a very powerful team, a very playoff contention team. 109-99 Magic win. Versus the Sixers, the abysmal Sixers, 86-98 Magic win. Versus the Pacers, 90-94 Magic win. Hornets, 89-114. Wizards, 94-121. Pelicans, 88-115. All wins. 6 straight wins, 5 of those wins being at home.
Those last couple were some pretty big deficits too.
Yeah.
Last time they lost November 4th against OKC, second seed in the West. So, I mean,
pretty respectable.
We knew that they would struggle a little bit against the tougher Western Conference teams during this whole run without Paolo. But I mean, Magic they're just playing really good ball.
They're bringing the Magic.
Absolutely. I am loving every minute of this basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. They have been doing this without Paolo, without Wendell Carter. They're doing this with who? Right? You start to really think about it, man. The last 6 games they've played, they've held all opponents under 100 points. Pelicans with 88, Wizards with 94, Hornets 89, Pacers 90, Sixers 86, and the Suns 99.
True.
Franz Wagner is. I found out that it's Wagner. It's not. It's a W, but it's pronounced Wagner. He's such a versatile player, man. The way this man is playing, he is. Y'all know how tall this man is? He is 6'10".
I was going to say
And the
6'11".
way he's moving the ball, his shot is so delicate. Everything. He's such a versatile player, man. He's really stepped up without having those key pieces in there. He's averaging 22.9 points a game, 5.5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's shooting about 47% from the field goal range, man. In the last 6 games, he's averaging 29 points, 6.3 assists, and 6 rebounds. The guy is playing lights out basketball. Now, the reason why I brought up those scores and they're holding them all under 100 points, man. The defense is playing so well. They needed to find an identity. The team needed to find an identity. We went on a 5-game lose streak. Everybody's up. That's expected. Blah, 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 blah. We're just going to let it go because they don't have their star players. No, man. Instead of just settling, they found their identity back of being a really great defensive team. They picked up the pace from last year, right? Jalen Suggs and KCP, man, are playing so freaking well defensively. It is insane. I love watching this. If you like old school basketball, this is the team to watch. And this may sound like I'm going over the top here, but if you really do, if you like block shots, if you like contested, if you like steals, if you like the fucking slams after the steal, this is the team to watch.
If you like a really good theme song, this is the team to watch.
No,
Yes.
no, it's not.
God, I wish we had
Oh
it.
my gosh,
Wish
no.
we could play it. It's so good.
Oh no.
It's so
Oh.
good.
I had that song stuck in my head for like a week. And
Orlando Magic.
Oh.
Magic.
That one.
no.
Okay.
Sounds like a
Anyways.
cartoon.
Okay. Anyways, and then let's not talk about Anthony Black, man. He is coming off the bench and he is playing. Okay, so if you look at him last year, right? Last year, you're kind of like, oh, man, this guy kind of flopped a little bit. He's kind of like, we wasted our money. We wasted our pick. And the way he's playing right now, he's all around just his movement with the ball, his movement with finding the open shots, everything. It just looks so good. It looks like the guy that we wanted. He's playing off the bench against the Suns. He scored 20 points, 4 rebounds, and had 9 assists, and he was shooting 50% from the field goal.
It's awesome. It's incredible.
I just love how the team has adjusted without Paulo. And let's be honest. All right, man. Have a good night. We appreciate you.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you stopping by. SKOL, baby.
He's also a guard, and he's holding opponents to 39% fucking from the field goal range.
It's awesome.
He's holding them to 25% from the 3-point range. He's playing great ball, man. It's exciting to watch, dude. I'm telling you, like, this is fun basketball. It is really fun basketball, and I can't wait. You know, if we end the show early enough, I'm putting the bitch on. And I'm going to sleep watching it. Like, I cannot wait to watch it, man. And then on top of that, just to end it off with the Magic here, the Magic is the first team to hold an opponent to less than 100 points for 6 games straight since 2018. It's a great stat, man.
But I do want to just say about the Magic. This is the final point.
Hey, look at that. Those are 2 handsome gentlemen right there.
2 handsome gentlemen.
Look at that.
I don't know about the one on the left. He's a little ugly.
Damn. Okay. All right.
I do want to say the Orlando Magic. The best thing about all this is that they are young, and
Yes.
they have only up to go. Like,
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible that they're this good this season with all these younger pieces and without even their star player. Like, that's hats off to them. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on them, talking about them more this season. So
We got to go to a game. We got to figure out what game we're going to.
I know.
we do.
It'll be,
Before
like
we
I
get
said, it'll
off,
probably be outside of the holiday season.
Yeah, for sure.
I just got
I
too
wonder
much
if they-
going on, but
I wonder if they play in town when the Pro Bowl's here. Is that way when we try to get E down here, we all just for collab?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. We'll
look into it.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
All right, E. I mean,
Hold on before we get on though. Asking you shall receive, my man.
Yes.
No.
I think this is it.
Oh, I really hope it's it. So good.
It's so fantastic and out of control. You can feel the power under your feet. Abracadabra, razzmatazz, slam dunk, something. Hocus pocus, alakazam, gonna set us free.
Thank God.
y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all ain't ready for that.
Sounds like they just put together last
that's
second.
a hell of a way to. That's a hell of a way to end our Orlando Magic segment.
Yeah, it
Hell
is.
yeah. That's the best way. All right. So, are we talking about the GOAT now?
LeBron James.
No, we're not talking about Michael Jordan. We'll talk about LeBron though.
I said the GOAT, not washed 90s player.
No,
Wow.
you said that.
Wow.
No,
I mean, I have to
respect my
That's
agree with Coach on this.
crazy.
I have
respect
to
my
go
GOAT.
with
I'm just
Coach on
kidding.
this one.
LeBron made a very questionable statement. Not something that we shouldn't have expected to see, but LeBron says, we have the clip. Why don't we'll just play the clip.
Let the clip do it too all the
Feels
time.
like that, just shy of 40 years old. Really, how long do you think you could be playing at this level if you chose to?
Well, it's not me. Obviously, it's the mind. It's wherever my mind is how the rest of my body is gonna go. Whatever the case might be. I don't know. I'm not gonna play that much longer. To be completely honest, I don't know how many years that it is. If it's 1 year or 2 years or whatever the case may be. But I'm not. I said the other night, I'm not playing till the wheels fall off. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be the guy. That's disrespecting the game because I just want to be out on the floor. Nope, that won't be me.
I'm not playing until the wheels fall off.
Sure.
Kind of sounds like something Mike Tyson should be saying too.
Okay, let's relax.
Just saying. But on a basketball note,
Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic.
it's just too good. LeBron is 39. This is no secret. It's probably
shoot
the biggest
myself.
story when you talk about the Lakers and LeBron James. He's 39 years old. 22nd season. He's averaging 23.5, 8.1 rebounds, and 9.4 assists per game. I mean, damn near triple-double. He's not exactly slowing down per se. He's just taking a lesser role, but still his stats say otherwise. Lakers are doing absolutely fine. He's relishing in this role. He seems happy. The team morale seems good. I don't mind if he retires while he's still a functioning player. I hate to see the guys that go out, and I hate to bring up Michael, but Michael went out as a not as good player. He just wasn't that good anymore.
Yeah, but Kobe Bryant did the same thing.
Kobe did too. No, you're absolutely right.
Carmelo Anthony.
Carmelo. I think about the Boston.
So why did you choose
Wade?
Michael Jordan?
Because I'm thinking about those top guys, and I could have brought up Kobe. That's right. That's a good point.
Yeah, because he was a Laker.
Anyway, but
Orlando Magic.
are we thinking that LeBron retires next season?
No.
No.
So you think he
He's
plays 2 more?
2 years.
Well,
Minimum 2 years.
Okay. It's hard to say because I want to see So my question is, I understand your question. How long will he able to be able? How long will he? Oh, Jesus! How long will he be able?
You all right there?
Try again.
Do I need to
you
call an
stumbled over your
ambulance?
words.
It was a burp coming up, and it was like stopping me, and then whatever. How long will he be able to stay at this level in a season? I'm not saying for years. In a season, how long are we going to be able to see him almost averaging a triple double? Right. It's still early on the season. I think it's a question that we should revisit once outside of Christmas time. Outside of Christmas time.
That or when they win a champ? How about when they win a championship?
No.
Oh,
I'm
we're talking like a month
season.
now.
I'm talking about this season outside of Christmas.
I would even say the All-Star break.
How long he can see? Yeah, after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
If he can stay, because he said he's not taking a break. If we scroll to the top, somebody made a comment about load management. Apparently, that's not happening.
Yeah, LeBron and AD both stating that they want to play all games this year, which is great. Honestly, that's if you're an NBA fan, that is exactly what you want to hear.
Right, because your money's worth. Your money's worth.
Exactly. People have been saying this about LeBron for years. How long can he keep this going? How long can he do this for? And for years, it's been, well, I guess try again next year. Well, try again next year. Try again next year. And I feel like it is coming to that point. I mean, and it's crazy to say a player in his 22nd season that we're having this conversation about. But I feel like it is going to come to that point, and I feel like he will retire before it gets bad. Because it's not even close to bad right now.
So here's my question to you, Damien. Do you, because you're the big LeBron fan here, right? You're not even a Laker fan. You're a LeBron fan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, well, before you jump into your question, I do want to state for the record, I've said it many times.
Yep.
LeBron retires, I'm becoming a Knicks fan. Okay? That's just it.
Okay, so you're the LeBron fan.
Yes.
Do you think he can keep up the tempo that he has at 39 years old? And I understand. I don't want you to base your shit off of previous years because there was load management back then. And he would miss quite a few games. And he's claiming that he's going to stay and he's going to play. Do you think he can keep up the tempo that he's on right now throughout this year?
With how the Lakers are playing, like as how they function as a team right now, with LeBron having to play less minutes early and play later and not have like this, I have to take over the game mentality, it's all on me. I do think that he can consistently play as good as he's playing right now, or even just slightly better than he's playing right now.
So improve.
Yes, for 2 seasons. I think at least in points, I think his points will go up by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think points for sure.
But yes, I do. Just because of how the Lakers are functioning right now. If it was the Lakers last year and it was the workload that LeBron had to do, like just to dig a game out of the trenches, no. I think LeBron would have. If it was the same team, if it was the same Lakers team as last year, this year, I think LeBron might have considered this being his last year, especially if they don't win a chip. If they win a chip, I still see him playing the 2 years. If they win a chip in 2 years, I still think he retires.
Do you think he's staying around to hopefully have his son come up and play with him?
Well, that's another point I wanted to make. I don't know the times table for Bryce.
Bronny.
We'll get into Bronny in a second. Because Bryce is honestly, he seems like a much higher prospect than even Bronny is. And I would like to see him. He has more of the LeBron frame, and it seems like he would be a much better basketball player. So I want to know the times table, and I'll have to do some research on that of when Bryce could be league eligible. And yeah, I think in 2 years, I think Bronny should be able to at least actually start his NBA career in the proper way. I just don't think, and we talk about this all the time, I don't think he's ready now.
So Bryce can get drafted in 2026.
2026.
Yeah.
So that works out exactly with what I believe is LeBron's plan, which is to play with both of his sons.
I want you to roll that clip, by the way, as we're
here we go.
talk to about Bronny.
Yes, of course.
Go ahead and roll that real quick.
Speaking of unbelievable, they just released a stat for the first 2 weeks of the G League, and they ranked the players by their PER. That's basically how good are you playing in the G League. Out of 336 players, Bronny was 333rd.
Oh, my goodness.
In the G League.
Oh, my goodness.
Not in the NBA, in the G League.
Wow.
I'm not trying to pick on the kid. I want the kid to be good. He is Mario's favorite player. I want the kid to be good. But they have done him no favors. Picking him in the draft when you are 333rd out of 336 is clearly for his dad. That doesn't help him. Putting him in the NBA when he's not ready on the biggest stage with the most marketable team, that doesn't help him. And then doing this thing where he won't play road games. It's almost like if you were to do a plan of how you would make that kid successful, they have done the wrong thing at every step of the way. Jeff Goodman said, and he took a lot of criticism for this, but I'm going to take up for Jeff. I think he's right. He said Bronny's a nice player. If he had come back and stayed, he could have been first or second team all-conference by his senior year. I think that's a completely reasonable statement, but it also shows how ridiculous it was, Drew, that they went and got him picked.
Yeah, and when you're Bronny picked 50th whatever in the second round, you're not supposed to be on the radar. If you get in a game, no one's really supposed to notice you're even in there.
I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't.
But when I said it,
you got shit on.
Listen,
you got shit on in the comments.
Can I talk to the comments real quick?
Let's talk to the comments.
We like Bronny. At least I like Bronny.
I don't mind him.
I think it's LeBron.
I think it's cool as hell that this kid is playing with his dad. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a cool ass thing. But why couldn't you wait a year? Go ahead, Damon.
If Bronny just waited a little bit longer, we wouldn't be. Let's go. I think he's a great player. I've always said I think Bronny is a great player, but there's a difference between great player and NBA ready player. Do you not understand? They're professionals. You have college players that are literally killing themselves to get this opportunity, and Bronny's getting it. Not that he doesn't deserve that potential spot, but he's getting it mostly because of who his father is.
Silver spoon.
You have to understand that it's not personal when it comes to Bronny James. It is strictly about fairness and about basketball and about professional. He is a great player. There's no debating. He is a good player. If I'm a college team, I want a Bronny James. He could do a lot. He can shoot. He's literally the son of LeBron James.
He can facilitate the game. He's a great facilitator.
Exactly. He can do the things LeBron does, obviously to a lesser degree because LeBron's a freak athlete, but he's just not NBA ready, and that's okay. At least we are not bashing him for that. We're bashing the NBA for allowing Bronny to come into the league to face this scrutiny from everybody because he's just not NBA ready. Let him wait another 2 years and then play. We'll have a different conversation. I guarantee it.
And you know what I think though too is that hurts him more because mentally he's getting bashed by everybody. Yeah, he's getting talked down about. So not only it's gonna put him further back than if he did wait. Like you said, because he had time to mature. Now in his head, he's like, these people are talking shit about everything I'm doing is being watched. So now I have to be when I'm playing the game, I can't just play it because I love the game anymore. Now I'm playing it because I'm trying to shut everybody up.
Yeah.
But LeBron literally already talked about that himself. He said that, it's evident Bronny has faced criticism in the start of his NBA career, but he claims that Bronny doesn't care about it. But of course he cares about it. He's a kid and he's
Everybody
young.
does.
Everybody cares about everything. But like
my
mean,
point
yeah.
about the whole thing was that whole clip that was taken. My point was he was the dead last pick in the NBA draft. In my opinion, there was still really good players out there. Still really good players that needed to be picked, and they didn't get picked. He gets picked. And then once he goes, now you got all these great players that are left because there's not a lot of picks. It's not NFL. Right? He jumps into the NBA. They realize this guy is not that good. He's not ready. Let's send him to G League. That point on that clip is I said, those guys in the G League are going to eat him up because those guys are hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys want it more. I feel like Bronny's plate is just empty. Is he hungry or did he eat? Does that make sense?
No, because he skipped right over those guys.
Right. So we don't know. We don't know the potential that we can have with him. And it's not me bashing the kid. It's not. It's dad trying to rush the product, I think, a little bit. If I'm being honest, I think it's dad trying to rush it. He wanted to be the only, because let's be real. LeBron James likes his stats. As much as he'll try and say he doesn't, because greats don't call themselves great. He has called himself great. Okay?
But he's also earned it.
But
yeah,
you never call yourself a great. Don't matter if you earned it or not. So him getting his son to play basketball with him and the photo op and first player, that's just another little ribbon, and it hurts the kid because now the kid is almost fucking dead last in the G League, dog.
But for me, I don't think that LeBron's necessarily cared about the statistic of being the first person to play with his son. I think as a person, he really wanted that moment for himself. What a cool thing to be able to talk about in 10 years. Like, yeah, man, I got to play with my son in an NBA game. How amazing is that?
I
Go ahead
agree
and read
100%
that.
with what Matt said.
Go ahead and read that.
Since Bronny isn't hungry, he's been handed his role on a golden platter by LeBron. If Bronny had time to develop more in college, he would be similar to Donovan Mitchell, who actually contributes on the team.
And that's essentially what I'm saying. If I get that he to make it like, oh, he wanted to play with his son and da. I understand that. But look at the way you're playing right now.
I can see it too.
But look at the way you're fucking averaging 23 points. You're averaging 8 rebounds. You're averaging 9 assists. You're shooting 50 from the free throw. I mean, from just shooting 50%, 51. You can play another few years. Why rush the product? Now you've only hurt your son, in my opinion. And we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. And this is straight speculation.
So you're saying LeBron could play a few more years?
I do think so. I think he could play. Even if he doesn't want to play till the wheels fall off. Bitch, who's telling him no? Who's telling him no?
Himself.
It's true. I think like what he said, and that's probably the most underrated of the LeBron clip, is his mind. His mind just saying like, I'm good.
So
I mean but that's the thing about athletes, though, is that if you don't have that mental behind it, like I just watched the recent. I can't remember which player it was for. It wasn't like some superstar. It was the like an everyday like NFL player. He was just like, I don't have it. Yeah, I don't want to play anymore. This one day I woke up and was like, I just don't want to play anymore. So when your mind goes, your body's not going to keep playing. It's because you're going to be forcing yourself. You're not going to produce.
But this is what I'm saying about Mike Tyson. Like, he said that already, and then he's still going out there for cash grabs and looking terrible. I'm sorry. Like, he is one of my favorite boxers ever. I think he's incredible. I can watch a Mike Tyson, I can watch Mike Tyson's highlights to this day. But if you're done, then be done. Don't try to keep catching that light back and back and back. Let it go. If you want to do boxing, you want to that's your image, do things around the sport, become a commentator, become a coach, do something useful beyond just being that guy. It's okay. And I think LeBron could potentially have a career as a coach or some part of a team or an owner. And I know he had plans to do that. And it's until he's out of it, until he looks like, okay, it's time to go, I think he should just play, wait for Bronny to be ready, wait for Bryce to be NBA ready, and then call it. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
I think 2K's got the script because whenever he retires on 2K, he becomes an assistant coach. You could pick him up.
The crazy thing is, Tyson isn't terrible. He held back 75%. Earned the payday from Jake Paul, influencer boxer. Yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, man. Matt, we kind of talked about we can see it. We kind of saw it a little bit, but we also talked about his health a little bit. Man, kind of almost died. He had 8 pints of blood pumped into him, lost about 25 pounds in 11 days. So he was kind of going through it. I'm not saying that's the reason why he didn't look as good, but I am saying that's the reason why his legs weren't good. His legs didn't lie. There was times where his legs look really, really bad. And in boxing, if your legs aren't solid, it's scary.
His body is saying no.
Yeah. But let's bump over. I think we're good with the James family here, if they will allow us to move on.
We're good. Let's move on.
All right. Let's talk about the Warriors, man. Warriors getting Curry back, man. We talked about his ankles early on in the season. He's playing really good ball, man. I know they just lost to the Clippers. Sorry, they just lost.
Yeah, how they beat themselves? That's crazy.
Yeah, how they beat themselves, right?
Hey, that can happen. You can beat yourself.
Looking at the scores, man, it's tough because you had 3 people with double-digit points and the rest of the team all in singular digits, and the third one only had 12. Curry was with against that Clippers team. He had 26 points. His boy Wiggins with 22, and everybody else was in single digits except for 12 points. So it's kind of hard to win games when your team isn't playing team ball. And I get it; it's still Steph Curry. For him coming back with no Klay Thompson, no, no captain. That's what they call him.
Captain Clay.
Captain Clay. He's still averaging 22.7 points, man, 5.1 rebounds, 6.4 assists, shooting 47.9%. He's had 2 really bad games. I'm not going to lie to you. There's one game where he had 12 points, another game where he had 13, but he's had 4 really good games, one 27, one with 36, and another one with 37, and that was against his boy, Captain Clay. He played really well that game.
I do want to touch on that, actually. Is it can we agree from the eye test, Curry plays better when it's personal, right?
Yeah.
You think about when they beat Boston. That ruined a parlay for my brother, by the way. Because I told him to pick Boston, and the Warriors came and stomped on that. Boston's notoriously talked a lot of trash to Curry, specifically Jaylen Brown. And, they had their finals matchup, and, Warriors came out on top. And then you have this Mavericks team, and they have Kyrie, another notable Kyrie opponent, Curry opponent. And then you have Clay, and then Curry was really intense by the end of that game, visibly, very animated, Yeah.
He put him with a.
And I forget what he says. He says, "Could have stayed here" or something like that. Said something like that. That was just crazy. Should have stayed here. Should have stayed here. Or, I mean, it seems like he's taking it personally.
Absolutely.
But I mean, if you think about that, though, like that's kind of the athlete, like an actual like champion athlete mentality. When you have that grudge match or that something to play for, it just brings a different kind of animal out. Think about any rival game when you play your rival school when you're in high school. It's just something about that game that just feels different.
So intense.
Is it something about you that makes you want to play? Like even like with mine, like one of my years, I got injured at the beginning of the game. I tried to play through the injury because I wanted to play against our rivals. There's something different about playing that game. So like, and obviously that's not a rival situation, but when you got something to prove or something that like a personal like grudge or a personal like just need to want to win that game, it just makes you play different.
Like the great Michael Jordan said, and I took that personally. I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
You have these guys that they look and give them a reason, and this is what they do. Curry is one of those people. The other three guys that, for me are the guys that you look as the greatest players of all time, MJ, Kobe, Braun. Those are the guys, like, you don't say certain things to them, and they all have their different ways of attacking it. You don't. You just, like, there's no point. Why are you even entertaining that? Like, you're going to talk shit to a guy who's literally just going to go out there and just personally make it his mission to kill you. Why?
I think out of that list, man, the one that's the top of that list when it comes to that was fucking Kobe. Kobe there's some kind of fucking like there's a switch in his head, man. Like
Michael
No,
was
it was
on
Michael.
go mode all the
No, it
time,
was-
but no.
No. It was Michael.
Kobe.
No.
he was the
serial
more
killer
consistent.
mentality.
We're talking about grudge holders. We're not talking about the most consistent with that mentality on every single game. We're talking about when he has a personal grudge.
Look up some of those clips, and they were like there would be games he'd be like, "Oh, you had a nice game," and the dude's like, "Huh?"
Oh, tremendous shit talker.
And he'd be like, "No, you had a nice game." And at that point, it was like Michael had like 10 points. I can't remember who it was. I'll find it. And then all of a sudden, Michael ended the night with 40.
I remember. I know which game you're talking about. But I'm talking about the fact that Kobe even did it to Michael. Michael said, because Kobe was wearing Jordans at the time, you can put on the shoes, but you'll never fill them. I mean, ouch. Kobe came back, dropped 40 on him. That's different.
But that's like an old Michael.
Doesn't matter. He
What
killed
do you
old
mean
Michael.
it doesn't matter? That's like me
He was still Chicago
beating
Bulls,
up on Mike Tyson or Jake Paul beating Mike Tyson. Okay,
That'd
like,
be
Is that gonna be the reference of the? Is this fight gonna be the reference of the night?
God,
I want to go
playing like Tyson.
I want to go over the scores real quick. Right now, the Bucks and the Bulls are in a tight fight right now. Third quarter, 89-82. Bucks are up. Pacers and Rockets are in a tight fight as well. 62-53 coming into halftime. Trailblazers are still in there fighting the Thunder. 47-44 third quarter. And then 76ers and Grizzlies, looks like Grizzlies are starting to take off. They're up by 10, 63-53 at halftime. And a tightly contested fight here with the Cavaliers and the Pelicans in the fourth quarter, 110-79.
Man, get out of here. You're crazy. You got me going for a second. I was like, what? What?
It's like Mike Tyson and Jake
Are you
Paul.
tweaking, bro?
No. It's like Serrano and Taylor.
Yeah, that's
107 more punches. Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's about that time, man. Let's get into some interesting stuff going on with these fines, huh?
Oh man, basketball.
You
know what? You guys touched on it earlier with these the era of referees that we're in sports is just something else.
So LaMelo Ball decides to step up on the court, and he says, "We loaded up
No
Pause.
homo.
No homo. $100,000 fine.
Oh, 100. You said 100,000?
100,000.
That's fucking crazy.
And I get it. We're gonna get people in the comments. Yeah, they make millions of dollars. That's still a lot of money, dude. Like, are you kidding me? We all say that. Everybody says that. Like, what are we scared of here?
He's not trying to offend a group of people. He's saying like common slang that people say.
Literally, that people say every day.
People don't think of.
But we walk around the school. Me and my boy Damien work together. We walk around the school. How many times do we hear that in a day, bruh?
Dude, it's like common conversation. It's like laughable. $100,000 for that. You know how many kids would be? They'd be gone forever.
Be suspended.
They would never have money in their life.
Yeah.
That's just oh god. The league needs to not do
They're
that.
softer than the NFL. That's crazy.
Because you're going to get a bunch of players who don't want to even speak in post-game interviews. They're not. And that's like, you know, a lot of people like to hear what the player has to say after the game. I think back, like, they used to, like, and you weren't supposed to, but, like, Shaq would get on TV, and there's a very notable clip where he's like, they took over the fucking game. And it's just like, live television, baby.
Yep.
Did they fine him $100,000? I doubt it.
Yep.
It was probably a good fine, but I know $100,000. He said no homo.
Right.
I wonder how many times that Marshawn Lynch has gotten fined for cussing on TV. that motherfucker, I swear.
He got fined saying, I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Yes, I remember that.
You guys remember that speech?
Yes, I do remember.
I'm just
was
here
that during the Super Bowl?
Yes.
That was during the Super Bowl, right?
And he got fined for saying, I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Come on.
I don't think they should be able to force you to, like, if you don't want to fucking talk, okay.
Correct.
There's a bunch of other people that want to. There's a bunch of other people that want that spotlight.
Where's the Players Association when you need them, right?
Right. Doc Rivers also finds himself in a hole with under $25,000 for publicly criticizing referees.
You cannot talk bad about the referees. God forbid.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will repeat that. He got fined $25,000 for publicly criticizing referees.
It's a down payment on the house.
It's not even that, man. It's not even that.
It's just a point.
There's no freedom of speech there.
No.
He can't be frustrated with the referees. We literally had a segment last week
bashing them.
Blatantly no foul. They review it, slow-mo it, get different angles of it. Still no foul, gets called a foul. But he goes out and says something about it. Yeah, slap a fucking $25,000 fine on him. That's insane, dude.
How about we find the rest for making a bad call then, man?
That would be very good.
They get paid, and they get paid a shit ton of money, so they can afford to take a pay cut.
They make a lot of bad calls, and the NBA, like last week, we had two players, Jason Tatum and Julius Randle, both hit game winners. Both of them traveled. Guess what? They can't do anything about it. They talk about it after the game. Oh, both these travels were missed. Sorry. What happens? Like, what does that do for me? You're going to let me know that I was right, and that's it? This changes nothing. It doesn't change the outcome of the game.
That was like when we had that face mask in the. So that's like when we had the face mask in the Vikings game. They literally said, all we're going to get is a letter saying we're sorry. But that doesn't change shit that actually happened.
Cool.
The damage is already done at that point. Yeah, it's already done. So, like, what's your little fucking letter saying, sorry, we made a bad call, really going to fucking help us at that point?
Let that be the championship deciding game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think that wraps up NBA. What a session.
Wow.
Absolutely. There's a lot of good stuff this week. There's a lot of good stuff this week.
What a great session.
Absolutely.
Great boxing, great mixed martial arts. Like, we just, It was a solid, good hour and a half there, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it, man. That was really good. That was really
Absolutely.
good.
We aren't done yet. Hey, coming up, we got some. We're gonna talk real quick. We're gonna hit some baseball real quick. We're gonna talk hockey. We're gonna talk some hockey. We haven't talked any hockey yet. We're gonna touch some NC from college football, and then we're gonna get into our bread and butter, the NFL. Quite a great week in the NFL. So stay tuned for that. If you're hanging with us, you're spending your Wednesday evening with us. We appreciate you hanging with us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're following all of our social media platforms. We are in pretty much every platform you can think of: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. We're live tonight on just YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So we appreciate all the support within our community. And
quick shout out to Damien, man. We appreciate you, brother. Back
Yes,
on
sir.
here with another episode. He's going to bounce out. It'll just be us three for the rest of the episode, man. We appreciate you out here, brother. We appreciate all the content you give us with NBA.
Hell yeah.
It's great chatting some ball with you, dog.
I appreciate the platform, guys. Like I
Yes,
tell you
sir.
guys all the time, I think this show is fantastic. I love how raw it is. I love that you guys just speak your mind, and you do it in a respectful and honest way, and that's so underrated and so needed. So thank
Hey,
you.
man, we
for
appreciate you.
being part of it.
We appreciate
Hell
you,
yeah,
brother.
man. We
I appreciate you guys.
All right, brother.
Have a great night. Talk some
You
football.
too.
Talk some baseball.
Yes, sir.
Talk some
All right.
hockey.
Take it easy.
Yes, sir.
Peace out, brother.
So yeah.
All
All right.
Well,
So you want to jump into this baseball?
hold
Yeah,
on, my
let's do it real
boy,
quick.
Sean wanted to ask us something. What you got, brother? He said we're going to the NFL soon. I have a question.
You know what he wants to ask. You know what he wants to ask.
You know what question he
You already know.
what question he wants to ask.
No, I don't know what he wants to ask. Go ahead and ask us.
Oh, he has to wait for one. He has to wait for the segment.
Okay.
All right, he hit.
All right.
Set some baseball. He hit it.
Yes, sir.
Man, that I tell you, shout out my man E. These transition clips are just fire. That one's fire. I can't wait for baseball to start back up.
Yeah, man, those are dope.
Absolutely. All right, real quick, nothing too much to hit tonight. I just want to hit a couple topics. I think I've finally recovered from the Yankees World Series loss. Excuse me if I start crying.
Is that why you haven't? Is that why you haven't talked baseball in a while?
No. I actually have a couple of key points tonight. My boy Ben and Sean on here, which is perfect. These are two of my close baseball guys. Let's start here in the state of Florida. Tampa Bay Rays, if you guys have been following, obviously last month we got hit by Hurricane Milton.
Appreciate
it, Q-Man. We got hit pretty hard by Hurricane Milton, one of the stronger hurricanes that have hit us more recently in history. But if you've been paying attention, Tropicana Field down in St. Petersburg, where the Tampa Bay Rays play, was pretty much the roof was pretty much blown off of the top. And that is really unfortunate because the damage is pretty much going to keep them away from the stadium for the entire of the 2025 season. Now,
which is okay though, because aren't they getting a new stadium?
So that is very very good point. So I'm going to get to that in just a second. First of all, they just came to an agreement last week with the New York Yankees that they will be using their spring training stadium in Tampa for the 2025 season. Cool. The Rays are going to cough up $15 million for them to use the facility. Now, that is interesting because Pinellas County, where St. Petersburg is in, is not very happy about that. They're not very happy that they moved all the way up to Tampa. If you guys aren't familiar with the kind of Tampa St. Petersburg area, St. Petersburg is basically along the Gulf of Mexico. It is its own essentially peninsula, island, whatever you want to call it. It is in a separate county than Tampa. It's about a 30 to 45 minute drive, depending on the traffic. Tampa is in the north part of the Tampa Bay. Different county, like I said, different county than where St. Petersburg is. So Pinellas County brings in a lot of their tax dollars come from that sports revenue. The Tampa Bay Rays. They have obviously a couple of spring training facilities there, but a big chunk of that revenue is coming from the Rays. Now losing that stadium for a whole season is going to be huge, and I'm curious. What do you guys think about them moving to downtown Tampa? So keep in mind that the Yankees spring training facility is right across the street from Raymond James Stadium, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. Parking situation is great. That was obviously one thing that was going to be a key thing of concern. The Yankees facility, George M. Steinbrenner Field, holds 11,000 seats, 11,000 people, which is obviously going to be down from the Trop because they were averaging about just over 16,000 fans per game. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that? And if you're in the chat, hit us up as well. I know Ben's going to have a lot of it. Ben's a huge Rays fan, so he's very knowledgeable in this.
All right, so your question is what? Are we okay with them not redoing the stadium?
Well, putting it off because right now they're estimating a $55.6 million repair for the Trop. Now, we'll come back to that question. We'll come back to the question real quick. This week was supposed to the Tampa Bay, the area of Tampa Bay board, Pinellas County board,
I agree, Drew,
and the Rays were going to be sitting down and actually finalizing the deal. Now, apparently, they've pushed back that meeting to give the okay to continue on with the new stadium plans. So now, the new stadium that's been proposed is not going to be ready by 2028. So as of right now, there are no plans to start construction.
Smokes.
Yes.
I see. So that's interesting.
So 2028 was the original proposed finish date for the new stadium.
I just don't see a point. You said it was $50 million to repair the roof.
$55.6 million to repair that roof.
And I understand
it's not just the roof. There's other stuff that got damaged within the stadium.
Yeah, of course. And I understand that because that's like it's like a tarp material, and you can't just use any kind of material. It has to be hurricane proof, and it went through a lot of hurricanes. Like,
right?
I thought this was supposed to be hurricane proof. I mean, it dealt with a lot of hurricanes. I mean, we had a very busy last 2 years that has hit that whole Gulf Coast area. So it is very interesting because, man, that is a steep bill to pay.
It is.
To just know that eventually, in a few years, bye-bye.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that I was talking with Ben last night. Apparently, the insurance that, the Trop was covered under, apparently they got really fucked.
Of course. That's what insurance does.
Yeah, of course.
Insurance, exactly. Insurance is the biggest joke of all time, and if we can get away from it, it would be a beautiful thing because it's the biggest joke ever. It happened to my wife's grandfather's house, right? We're not in a flood zone. He's not in a flood zone, but 2 years ago, when that flood came by, a water main broke and it flooded that neighborhood, and he had every insurance under the sun, but he didn't have that flood insurance, and his house got screwed. So, Commissioner, go ahead and read that. That's your boy, man. Read it.
Yeah, Commissioner Chris Latvala, can't read. He's going to wreck the decades of progress made to elevate downtown St. Pete. Yeah, that's it's really bad what's going on in St. Pete right now. There is with all this in mind, there is a chance that the Tampa Bay Rays, move out of St. Pete. Which
that's my other question. Is that a team that needs to stay? It sucks. Like, is that a team that needs to stay there? Like, if you're having this many issues, like, hello, we're using the hurricane as a crutch here, like as a cripple to this team,
right?
Why would we pay? To me, and I get it. We're talking about big dollars here, and maybe $50 million to them is nothing. But god damn, bro, to pay $55 million to fix the facility. We're in year what? Exactly.
Yeah.
And to have it all go away,
right? And the
in a
Rays
few
are going
years?
on. They're going on close to 20. They're over 25 years there now, almost 30 years. So that's just it's crazy. And the new stadium proposal is proposed at $1.3 billion, billion with a B, by the way. So that's just
insane.
It is insane. It's only going to hold 30,000 people. It's nothing. It's not going to hold. It's not. I mean, it's not going to be nothing too crazy. But
how does Ben? I want to hear Ben. Ben's got.
Yes,
I see Ben's well versed in this. The city
I wish we could.
St. Pete screwed.
Is there any way we can have Ben shared in?
Yeah, I mean, Ben, can you jump in, brother?
If I share the link with him, can I have him jump in?
Let's see if he's down for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can, yeah.
Yeah, because that's one I wanted to. That's one thing I was hoping that we could have him hop in. I'm not sure if he's free or not, but yeah, Ben, if you're able to, I'll send you the link and you can hop in real quick.
Yeah, man, I love you seem like you know it very well. I mean,
absolutely. Can you pop the comment up real quick again, one more time? City of St. Petersburg screwed themselves by dropping insurance coverage from 100 million to 30 to 35 million. There you go. Because the other thing too is the Rays don't own that stadium. The city of St. Petersburg does. That's another.
And let's be real, Ben. You can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a shit field. I've been to a few baseball fields. I don't like that field. That field's hideous.
So, fun fact, it actually was supposed to be made for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Really?
It was actually supposed to be a hockey arena. Yeah, it was supposed to be just for hockey.
Send me
But
a link. I'll do it on my phone. All right, send me the link real quick.
All right, I'm gonna send the link real quick.
I'm gonna pee real quick.
Sounds good. Yeah, let me send the link real quick. Absolutely. Let me find the chat here. Where is he? There you go. Trop sucks. Oh, Sean, yeah, you're just about right. Sean, remind me, have you been to the Trop? All right, Ben. By the way, I just shared the link with you. Yeah, Ben's gonna have a really good. He's gonna have a really good take on this. Really, Drew? Are you serious, Drew? Wow. Drew, what don't you like about Miami? Sounds good, Ben. You're good. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sean, are you coming down? Are you coming down for spring training?
I'll say if you want, while you're waiting on Ben, you can go one of your other topics. And we can
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we'll come back to this topic real quick. The other topic I was going to hit tonight, as you all know, Juan Soto, famous outfielder for he played for the Yankees this year. He is in a contract. This is his contract year, so he's a free agent right now. He has been meeting with a lot of teams this offseason. Obviously, the Yankees are one of the top teams to try to get him back right now. Probably. I mean, yeah, but where did you guys sit though? If you're not sitting close, then yeah, it makes sense. Normalized Miami Stadium hate. That's crazy. No, I think Miami's okay. I think Miami's not too bad. I wouldn't say it's great, but I mean it's still
Hold on, the Marlins Stadium?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful stadium.
Yeah.
I love that stadium. Oh my God. We went there the other day. First of all, you look out, they got that whole glass panel.
Yeah, overlooking the city
Oh
the city line of Miami. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Okay.
I do think we need to get rid of the nosebleeds, man. Those are terrible seats, man.
Yeah. The only reason they put it in there is just to put more butts in the seat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So,
and for us poor folk to be able to sit there.
Right. Well, and the same thing with Miami can't. They don't draw fans. They only draw fans when the Braves, the Yankees come to town. Maybe the Phillies.
Can relax a little bit, though. Let's relax. You're talking to a Marlins fan here.
My bad. Hey, by the way, Yankees are coming to Miami this summer, so I have to hit up.
Literally, you're literally talking to a Miami fan.
Dude, a Miami fan. Anyways, back to my other topic. Juan Soto is speaking with a lot of him and his agent, the most hated agent in baseball, Scott Boras, are speaking to a lot of teams. Obviously, the Yankees are looking to bring him back give him a chunk of money. Hal Steinbrenner, the Yankees owner and operating manager, came out today saying that money isn't really a factor with the team. So obviously, they're going to be hitting the ground running, trying to bring Soto back to the Bronx. Other key notable teams that are looking for him are the Boston Red Sox, the Toronto Blue Jays. Now, apparently, the Philadelphia Phillies are looking to bring him into their organization. Obviously, the LA Dodgers are as well, and then also the San Francisco Giants. Me personally, I'd rather him if he doesn't end up in New York. Sorry, the New York Mets are also looking into signing him as well. But I would definitely be destroyed if he ended up in Boston. I'd rather him end up in LA than in Boston. Obviously, I don't want him to end up in LA either because, I mean, that place just screams money, screams talent. So, just really hoping that he ends up back in New York. I think he fits the culture really well there. He's grown a Ben.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Saul? What's going on, E? I'm doing all right. How are y'all?
Good. Hey, I like the beard, by the way.
Hey, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Love this beard, man.
Absolutely, man. No, we definitely want to hear you. We want to hear your take on it, man. You seem like you're well versed, well knowledged on that whole situation going on over there. So how you feeling? Like, what's your stand on the whole thing?
So basically, over the past year, the Rays, they have been pushing for a new stadium, and they advised that, last year back, I believe it was August or September of 2023, that they were working on plans for the stadium, and they were working with the city of St. Petersburg and Pinellas County Commission, St. Pete Chamber of Commerce, Pinellas County Chamber of Commerce, all these different chambers of commerce to just make sure that people understand, like, hey, look, we're not necessarily like a cash-rich team, kind of like the Yankees or Los Angeles Rams with Stan Kroenke. It's really they're really a team that doesn't have too much cash on hand to float around. There's a reason why, we're in the bottom half of the league, like at the very bottom of the league in terms of spending money on salaries for players. We just don't have that revenue. Part of the problem is that back when the Tropicana Field first opened as the Florida Suncoast Dome,
that was in 89, right?
Yeah, it was like 88, 89 when it first opened. It was built to lure a team away from either Chicago or San Francisco. And both of those teams ended up staying at the very last second, including San Francisco Giants and Chicago White Sox, because we were bound to have a team at that point. The whole reason why everybody wanted baseball in St. Pete was because we've had Al Lang Stadium, which is right down the street from Tropicana Field. We have the Phillies in Clearwater. We had the Blue Jays. We had the Yankees in Tampa.
Yeah, you got a lot of teams over there.
Yeah.
We have a ton of teams throughout the state, but mainly they're all concentrated in the Tampa Bay area. Yeah. And the city of St. Petersburg saw an opportunity to basically revitalize their downtown, because back in the 80s and early 90s, there was nothing to do. Absolutely nothing. Like, people would go home at like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It'd be dead during the weekdays. Nowadays, whenever you go out there in the middle of the night, it's beautiful. But
it's fun. It's fun.
yeah, it's fun. It's a great fucking time out there. Excuse my language, by the way.
Hey, we're uncensored, unfiltered.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. So fast forward back over to 2024. Pinellas County Commission votes 5-2 to approve the stadium, which is basically a formality vote.
And how much is the
to
stadium?
allow for the issuance of bonds? It's got to be a 1.1 to 1.2 billion dollar stadium.
Jesus.
The Rays are chipping in about $200 to $300 million. The biggest issue is that we've always been a spring training area. We haven't been a professional area for baseball as far as like on the major league level ever. So it takes a while for people to come down here, raise their family, or retire down here and become fans of the team that they didn't grow up with. Let's just say, for example, I moved away and I moved to, let's just say, Charlotte, and I ended up becoming a Carolina Panthers fan just for my kids.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that to yourself?
My whole thing is that you make sacrifices for your family. You make sacrifices for your children. And a lot of people, they ended up uprooting over the past 20, 30 years, come down here to give their families a better life. Eventually, you're going to start to see, generations of kids that grew up with the Tampa Bay Rays start to have careers, start to have spouses, start to have children of their own, and they want to bring them to their home team. They want to show their kids a good time. So, if we fast forward back to 2024, immediately after Pinellas County Commission voted yes on it, the two no votes was Commissioner Latvala, who I advised in the comment section. He and I actually follow each other on X, and we talk a little bit back and forth.
Was that the guy you were telling me about last night?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So he was pushing to have the Rays play in Dunedin or Clearwater, or possibly even Alline Stadium. Alline Stadium is a soccer-only facility at this point. There's no way that they can rip up asphalt. There's no way that they can get rid of the bleachers because their soccer team, which they own, the Rays own, won't be able to play anywhere around their home facility.
So are they gonna they would tear down Tropicana, correct? And it would just be imploded?
As far as when the stadium
once the new stadium once the new stadium gets built, it's not gonna be repurposed.
No. It'll be gone.
It'll just be I think it'll be parking lot.
I just don't see. I don't
see them paying $50 million to. That's why I just don't see them paying that $55 million to fix the field, and then in 4 years, it's not even 4. About 4 years from now, it just doesn't exist anymore.
So the thing is, with the insurance coverage and everything, the city of St. Pete really only has to pay $6 million to repair the Trop. The problem is that you have the Pinellas County Board of Commissioners basically just told the Rays, hey, guess what? The tax dollars that can't be repurposed for anything else beyond tourism, okay? Tourism funded activities, which go towards parks, beaches, and multi-purpose venues. In this case, Tropicana Field and other stadiums. Sorry, I'm in my car. I'm doing this in my car. It's like they don't understand. It's like they just don't simply get it. They don't get. They didn't read the contract, and it's very, very frustrating that a commissioner who is in charge of making decisions for his district that he oversees doesn't understand the basics of a stadium contract and how it works and how funds are issued.
Well, it doesn't seem like the commissioner Latvia, he doesn't seem like he knows a lot about sports or how sports venues work.
Yeah, he did say that he grew up a Phillies fan, or actually, excuse me, not a Phillies fan, a Blue Jays fan.
Okay, so I see why that he probably wants to go to. He would push for them to go to Dunedin.
Yeah.
My whole thing with it is, he wants to push it to Dunedin. I get it. He wants to have it as home district.
Mm-hmm.
But look, the Rays aren't going to be influenced by a bunch of commissioners who just want to see it played, just to have it in Pinellas County. They have to make money.
Right. And for those who are watching and don't know, Dunedin, Florida is a very, very tiny town in Pinellas County. Dunedin hosts the Toronto Blue Jays every spring training. Dunedin also has their single affiliate of the Toronto Blue Jays. Their stadium, they just got it redone last season, but it only holds about 7,000 people, if that. So it's not really that's not for a major league team to play there. It's really not great. It's not even going to be. It's still going to be pushing it, having them play at Steinbrenner Field, which only holds 11,000 people.
The worst part about it is that the two stadiums where there is spring training regularly,
mm-hmm.
there is no capacity for any sort of parking. So
no, none.
We do not have light rail. We do not have great bus service throughout Tampa, St. Pete. We don't have like a rapid transit system that goes to each individual ballpark or each individual hotspot area.
Mm-hmm.
Downtown St. Pete technically does have one. It's called the Sunrunner, but it just got launched, and it basically just takes you from downtown straight to the beaches along the West Coast. So It's not going to hit up any other area besides St. Pete Beach. But the fact that they just want to just try to keep the Rays,
they're just holding it by threads at this point.
Pinellas County, even though that the Rays couldn't prevent anything that happened, which also, by the way, that roof that got torn off Tropicana Field was the original roof.
That's insane.
So it was on there for what?
That is insane.
Yeah.
They never replaced the roof. It was supposed to last 30 years. It should have been replaced back in 2013, 2014.
Jesus. Wow.
So that just proves right there that
the
city of St. Pete and Pinellas County are just they're in a rut with that stadium.
Yeah. No, the city of St. Petersburg screwed themselves by not replacing the roof, which that roof would have held up fine had it been replaced because it's able to withstand 115-mile-an-hour winds. The highest gust that was recorded over at Albert Whitted Airport, which is about maybe 2 miles from the stadium, mile and a half, 2 miles, 101 miles per hour.
So that's crazy.
So we're talking 14 miles per hour less than what the maximum tensile strength
was able to withstand. The roof was able to
withstand.
Right.
I think it was just at that point.
Yeah.
Because we had just been hit by one, and then they were just it was like one after the other at that point. So
yeah.
It was a recipe. It was a recipe. It was a perfect storm, man. It was a recipe for a perfect storm and perfect disaster for us.
Recipe for
unfortunately.
disaster.
So,
yeah.
I mean, no, man. We really appreciate it, Ben, breaking it down like that for us, dude. We really do, man. That's
absolutely.
Hey, Ben. One more question before you head out. With them moving to Steinbrenner Field, do you think the reason? So you mentioned. Obviously, in Pinellas County with the Dunedin Stadium and then the Clearwater Stadium, there's no parking. Do you think part of the decision to move to bid for Steinbrenner Field was that because of the parking situation at Ray J? I mean, the parking situation there with Steinbrenner and Ray J is great. So do you think that had a factor that went into it, or was it also because of the capacity?
The capacity plays a factor because Steinbrenner Field is the highest capacity spring training stadium in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And
11,000
infrastructure as well too. You need infrastructure. So infrastructure like parking. You need the ability to bring in television crews. There's plenty of space for not just regular passenger vehicles. There's going to be plenty of space for Fox, ESPN to bring in anybody that, like, any equipment that they need. They're going to be able to have it at Steinbrenner Field. I just don't think it was possible for Dunedin or for Clearwater to be able to host properly.
Definitely not.
If they were to host, we'd probably have to see a multitude of changes occur to those spring training facilities that would most likely be temporary.
Well, and not enough time either. I mean, it's November 20th. Spring training starts here in 3 months.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be enough time. That's crazy. And one last question.
Sure.
If for some reason this whole stadium kabobble, falls down and the Rays decide to move out, would you consider moving to wherever they decide to move to? Obviously, worst case scenario.
Where are we saying worst case scenario is?
I think based on what I was researching, the top cities right now are currently Charlotte and Nashville.
Oh, brother.
I know.
Honestly, I've considered Charlotte just because I have family up in North Carolina.
Okay.
Tennessee is another one as well, too. It sounds pretty neat. I've never been up to Nashville, Tennessee. I've been in East Tennessee before, but never to Nashville. So I don't know. That would be something different. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily pick up and follow directly in case if I mean, Tampa Bay is just Tampa and St. Pete are just great places to live.
And they've worked so hard.
I don't see it moving to Tampa, though. I mean, sorry, Tampa. I don't
Charlotte.
see it moving to Charlotte because Charlotte's fan base is so ass. I'm sorry, but the Panthers, they can bear. They were buy one get one free seats, dude.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
and you got the Hornets. The whole sports in Charlotte in North Carolina is abysmal.
Yeah.
So I would like Tennessee. If I was to choose, Tennessee would be a fire one. I do enjoy it, dude. Tennessee's freaking beautiful. I've stopped there a few times. I got friends when I got out of the Marine Corps that live in Tennessee, and we stopped by there. We're thinking about stopping by there once we got to go up to Wisconsin here in December for college graduation, and it's
There you go. Charlotte Ridge has been begging for baseball.
I will say, Sean, if the Rays were to move, they need to consider the area around China, because that town, they already had the Durham Bulls. You might as well just bring the Rays up there.
To Raleigh, Durham.
I'm sorry?
To Raleigh, Durham.
Yeah, Raleigh, Durham area, I think would be
Raleigh's
great.
beautiful. Oh my
Raleigh's
God.
beautiful.
Raleigh's a college town, man.
Huge college town.
When I was in the Marine Corps, my son, he was born with congenital glaucoma. He was born legally blind, and he had to have surgery immediately. And the number one surgeon was in Raleigh, North Carolina. We were there quite a few times, man, when at his early ages of his life, and while I was in the Marine Corps, man. And Raleigh, I could see Raleigh. Okay, I can see Raleigh. I think Raleigh would be a great spot because, like you said, you have that great college, and those college kids love to do shit, man. And baseball games are what? Cheap.
Yeah, because the Durham Bulls, Durham Bulls games, they just redid that stadium, but they really they bring a lot of people in. And yeah, to Sean's point, the Hurricanes are down there. The Hurricanes do it really good down there. The Hurricanes fans, they always sell at the stadium. That stadium, the arena they play in, Livonia Arena, is great. It's in a great location. So yeah, I could definitely see that.
I like that. Raleigh's a good spot. Raleigh, I can see. Raleigh, I can see. Charlotte, not so much. And I get they might be begging. And I get they might be begging for it, but I just don't see it being a very great or consistent crowd there because just because, like what we said, I mean, you have these teams that are already there or in that vicinity, and they're the following, man. If your team isn't good, you need to have fans that even during down season, they will show up, right?
Yeah.
And let's be real, in baseball, there's a lot of down seasons, but you have great seasons. Like, look at the Marlins. Marlins started off as a franchise. They were hot when they first came into the scene. Were complete ass. Got a little hot ass. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a good, consistent fan base.
Definitely. Absolutely. So, and the other thing about Raleigh too, last thing we'll hit on this is Raleigh it's an up and growing area. It's getting really expensive to live there. I have pretty much all my dad's side of the family lives in the Raleigh Durham area. But it's really growing. The housing market is going up, the population, but it's and you have NC State and Duke down there. But the other thing about Charlotte is it's really not a great area to live in.
No.
You can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if it's
not.
changed or not, but it's really rough.
I have family that lives in Charlotte, and there's a lot of
the poverty is just bad.
The poverty is very high.
It's really bad. The crime rate, the poverty, it's not a good area. So that's just something you have to consider as well. Like Ben said, you just have to consider the area around you. But hey, Ben, we appreciate you, my man. I definitely wanted. I was gonna ask you if I was gonna ask the guys if we wanted to have you hop in here real quick. But I'm glad you're able to hop in for just a second.
Yeah, hey, I really do appreciate it. Sorry, I had to do this on my phone. My brother, he is back in the place being a little loud, so just want to make sure that we could just have the show without interruptions. So
all good.
We appreciate it. Hell,
hey, man, we appreciate you. Absolutely. I'll be hitting you up as this story continues to develop. I might hit you up here and get your insight on it.
Yeah, no, we definitely like the insight, man. So we'll definitely bring you back on once more of the story develops here. You know.
Yeah, man. So December 17th is the next meeting to vote on the bonds. So as soon as that comes out, I'll be calling Matt, and we're gonna be talking about
I'll be waiting for him, man.
And
Good job, everybody.
If they say yes right then and there, I'm just gonna be like, y'all better start paying up right now. Pinellas County, y'all gonna have to pay up because the Rays, they ain't gonna be able to afford it themselves. It takes a village.
Yeah.
And it takes tourist tax dollars, not even local residents.
Yeah.
Tourist tax dollars from hotels, restaurants, and other stuff.
That's what happened with the Atlanta Braves, bro. They're not even in Atlanta no more.
Yeah, they moved up to Cobb County?
Yeah, beautiful stadium, and they got that park outside of the park.
Beautiful. Yeah, the Battery, beautiful.
The Battery is freaking awesome. That stadium, awesome. I think, hands down, is my favorite stadium that I've been.
Is
to.
it?
Yes,
it's definitely top 10. It's top 10 on my list.
Yeah, I haven't been to any of like the old classics.
Yeah, like Turner Field or
yeah. Well, no, I went to Turner Field. I love Turner.
Okay.
Turner Field was my spot. I loved it. Right off the highway, nice, easy, convenient.
Yeah, 100%.
I love Turner Field. It was a great field, and now I believe the college took it over, Georgia State or something like that.
Yeah, Georgia State's doing football there. So I actually drove past. It looks pretty sweet, honestly.
No, yeah, it was a great stadium. They didn't need a new stadium. It was crazy, but I digress.
Exactly.
No, man, we appreciate it, dog. We really do.
Hey, everyone, Ben Japs, appreciate you, man.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, have a good one. All right, we'll talk soon.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
Peace.
All right. Hey, that was it. Hey, by the way, if you're hanging with us and if you ever want to chat about something, you want to come on the live and chat about something, hit us up on Instagram. Hit up our DMs. I'll be happy to fit you in for a segment just like that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a bad football stadium. It was a great baseball stadium, Sean. No, listen, Turner Field was a great baseball stadium, but for football, no. I wondered how they were going to do it, and I was like, okay, this doesn't work. But hey, definitely. I get it. I mean, it is a stadium, and they got a stadium. It's a college with the stadium. Sure,
absolutely. All right, that's going to wrap it up.
quick update real quick on some basketball. We had a couple games come to an end. Pelicans lose, shocker, 100 to 128. Bulls lose 106 to 122. Trailblazers and the Thunder are in a tight fight right now, 87-84, which is crazy. Rockets are beating the Pacers 102 to 85. Grizzlies beating the 76ers, no shocker there, 106 to 90 in the fourth quarter.
They got to turn it around. They got to turn it around. They got to figure it out here.
Yeah.
So, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's it. Let's jump into the NHL real quick.
Yeah, let's hit the rink.
Yes, sir.
Hey, got another fire transition. That is lit. I tell you, that is crazy. Absolutely. Hey, real quick, nothing. We're gonna hit this. Yeah. Hey, we're gonna hit NHL real quick because I know we got the whole NFL to get to. We got some college football talk real quick. Alexander Ovechkin. We were talking about him last week. He is on pace to. He's quickly chasing Wayne Gretzky's overall goal record. He unfortunately just hit the IR. He has a leg injury. He's going to be out he's calling it week to week with a left leg injury. So that is a significant loss for the Washington Capitals. And they've been playing really good hockey.
Really good hockey.
Yeah, they're first in the Metro with 27 points right now.
That's my team.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, he how do you feel about that, by the way? I was gonna get your take on it.
I haven't watched a single
He said Gretzky put a hit on the week.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No,
but honestly, I do want to start just seeing if I can get into it, and that would obviously, like I said, I'm not. If I get into any sports from now on, I'm just gonna stick with my local teams. It just makes life easier. I don't have to hunt games down. I don't have to hunt merchandise down. I'm just gonna start. You know, if I'm getting into a sport from the beginning, I'm just gonna start sticking with my local teams. So
definitely. So huge blow to the Washington Capitals. Hopefully we can get them back soon so we can continue to watch that chase. Another player stepping away from the ice for a while is JT Miller. Saying for personal matters, he's with the Vancouver Canucks. He was tied for the team lead in goals. So that's got a pretty significant loss right there.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Wait a minute.
It is. But the Vancouver the Canucks are saying that they're respecting his privacy. So
of course. I mean, what are they going to say? No.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
exactly.
Yeah,
so I mean, it could be a matter of things.
Right. I guess. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not going to speculate here.
Exactly. I can't speculate, but I mean, JT Miller's he's been a great player in the league. So it sucks to see someone so good to step away for indefinite period amount of time like that. Vancouver, by the way, is currently they're currently 5th in the Pacific Division. They have 21 points overall, 9-6 record, 3 overtime points as well. So hopefully get them back as soon as possible. Quickly, let's look at some standings. Coach, your Florida Panthers are still leading the Atlantic with a record of 12-6-1, 25 points overall.
I'm not too I'm not too happy with the gameplay right now.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit sloppy.
Last 4 games have not been great. Great. We got swept by the Devils. We played them twice, and they beat us both times. One game was 4-1. The other game was 6-2. Then we go and we play the Jets, and we destroy them. That was a great game. That was Panther puck. Is that what we call it? Panther puck.
Panther hockey.
Dang, that's basketball. That's a heat ball. Nah, so they beat them 5-0. Right, great game.
Was that in Winnipeg?
Man, I forgot. I think one was in Winnipeg and one wasn't. I don't remember. I think they were in Winnipeg and they beat them 5-0.
They were in Sunrise when they beat them 5-0, but then they went to Winnipeg and they lost.
And then we lose 6-3. So in the last 4 games, we're 1-3. So I'm not loving it. I'm not hitting no panic button. I'm like, hey, just tighten up, baby. Tighten up.
Yeah, you gotta tighten up.
Tighten up.
Still playing good. Stam Reinhart, he's only a goal behind Ovi for the league lead in goals. He's still playing great hockey, and I think he's gonna have a great career ahead of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Boston Bruins, they're a team that's kind of shocking right now. Currently have a losing record of 8-9-3, only 19 points. But yeah, I don't. It might be time to hit the panic button. I know they just had a coaching change.
I was about to say that. That was one thing about
Yes.
hockey. I did see that they fired, was it Montgomery? And then they hired.
Yes, they hired
David
Montgomery.
No. Oh, all right.
Yeah, Jim Montgomery is they fired him.
Hey, man,
Notes that
anytime I see a blur,
I did see that.
anytime I see a Boston team struggling, I'm happy.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Because usually they're a juggernaut, but I think that's why the Florida Panthers have it pretty. They have it pretty good right now. Over the Metropolitan, we already mentioned it. Washington Capitals are leading the Metro with 27 points. Carolina Hurricanes not too far behind. They actually just won. They just finished up in Philly. They took the game against the Flyers 4-1 tonight. Philadelphia Flyers are looking a little bit better. Still kind of on a rebuild. Have a record of 8-9-2 with 18 points. Carolina is in second place, just a point behind the Capitals. 13-4 record overall. And the New Jersey Devils, as you were mentioning, they're playing really good hockey. They have an overall record of 12-7-2 with 26 points. Yeah. Moving over to the Western Conference and the Central, obviously Winnipeg Jets are really the hottest team right now, if it's not the Panthers. Overall record of 16-3, 32 points, leading the league. Minnesota Wild they're playing great hockey right now too. 12-3-3 overall, 27 points. And moving over to the Pacific, Vegas Golden Knights are looking hot as always. 24 points, 11-5-2 overall record. LA Kings, it pains me to say it. They are in second place with a 10-6-3 overall record. Shout out to my Anaheim Ducks, by the way. You see, I'm rocking the Ducks gear tonight. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and they just handed Dallas on Monday their first home loss of the season.
Dang. Hey, what place are they in?
Who, the Ducks?
In the Pacific Division, by the way?
They're second to last.
I will say this, though.
You know what? Well, go ahead.
That has fire.
Oh, I appreciate it. That's why I wanted to rock it tonight.
I like the Ducks just because of the logo,
the movie,
the
movie.
It's just movie, the logo.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, the movie, hell yeah. That's about all the hockey I've ever watched.
Yeah.
People, every time I tell people I'm a Ducks fan, they just like, Ducks fan. Why? Yeah. Why not? Right? No, I'm just kidding.
That's why.
I have family, and actually have family in Orange County where Anaheim plays. So take that. And I've always loved. Ryan Getzlaf, whose shirt I'm rocking right now. Cam Fowler was my favorite play. He's my favorite defenseman. Corey Perry as well. He's been one of my favorite players. And then also Bruce Boudreau, who was a former coach of the Ducks. I just always loved his coaching style, and I was heartbroken when they let him go. Honestly, letting him go, that's what destroyed this team. And you can ask any Ducks fan. That's really what happened.
I'm just excited here coming up with the Panthers, man. Panthers get. I'm not gonna. Well, the next one's easy. They play. The Blackhawks. Right, Blackhawks are terrible.
Yeah, Ducks just took care of them last night, 3-2.
Yeah, Blackhawks are dead last in the Central Division, and then they go up against the Avalanche, another Central team. Avalanche is kind of in the middle.
Yeah, they're not actually not play. They've started to play a little bit better, but they had a really bad start.
Yeah,
so
but they're in the middle. They're kind of in the middle. So I'm not too pressed about them. I think we can handle them. So it's gonna be nice to have two kind of
manageable games,
easier games versus playing a Jets team that's first, and then we go 500 with them, and a Devils team that's third in their perspective division, and losing straight out to them. So it's gonna be nice to have two games where we kind of get back on track and hang out. So.
Definitely. By the way, I just got my Ducks Panther ticket late last week. You want to go?
When?
Saturday, January 18th.
Send me the information.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I'll let you up after the show. So
I might have to buy it last minute because I gotta wait till the holidays pass.
Well, and hopefully the Ravens aren't playing a playoff game on that Saturday.
Yeah,
that's a little bit more important, right?
No, not really. Hanging out with the boys is more important, dog.
Hey, that's a great answer right there. Great answer.
Listen, man.
Absolutely.
Listen, at the end of the day, sports is just sports, and it brings us all together. I'm not going to avoid not hanging out with my boy to watch a game at the house. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Now, somebody wants to give me tickets to the Ravens game. That's a different story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Hey, Ravens, if you're listening, hit us up.
Right. If you're listening,
Appreciate
hit me up. Hit me up.
I mean,
absolutely.
It's all you are is a flight away. I'm only an hour away from Baltimore.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go.
There you go. And we got plenty of flights to Baltimore from here in Orlando.
He said he'll show some leg. That's just what I heard. He said he'd show some leg for me. That's it.
Show some leg.
Absolutely.
Areola.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for our NHL talk tonight. Let's quickly talk about some college football, and then we'll get to our bread and butter, the NFL.
Sounds good.
All right, we are getting close to the end of the college football season here, and of course, we're getting to the most exciting time, bowl season. Depending on some bowls are exciting, some bowls are just they're there to just say that they you made a bowl. Hold on, my app just crashed on me.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say this, man. Colorado's looking like a fun team to watch.
They are.
But
Spirit Airlines. Well, that's a different topic for a different time.
Hey man, listen, I'll ride that shitty ass airplane. I'll ride that.
Yeah, I don't even know what I went up to fucking Ohio one time. I don't even know what airline it was, but that was the most smallest, shittiest, most turbulent ride I've ever fucking been on in my life.
I'm okay getting disrespected by the flight attendant as long as I just get there and it cost me $37.28.
Hey, that's all that matters, right?
No, but hey, Colorado playing Utah. They beat them 49-24. They're ranked 16 right now. I like what I'm seeing, man. Do they make it in the top 12? Maybe. There's still a lot of things that need to happen.
I want to look at who they have the rest of the season. They have 2 more games coming up. They have a huge one against Kansas on Saturday at 3:30, yes. And then they have Oklahoma State. That's 2 manageable games.
Yeah. So if they make it in, I don't see them lasting too long. Just because these other teams are the teams in the top 12 are
they're tough.
They're looking scary. And I mean, if anything says anything, I want to talk just real quick about that Georgia-Tennessee game. Georgia put that beat down, boy.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was slow to start off, but they ran away with it.
Yeah, they just kept going and going.
They did,
and you're like, okay, stop, and it was nasty. So Georgia winning that game 31-17 against Tennessee. Georgia's currently ranked 8. Tennessee's at 10. I don't see Colorado beating a Tennessee team. That's not happening.
No, definitely not. So. Colorado's not complete as complete as Tennessee is. One of the huge upsets coming out of the weekend, BYU finally taking their first loss of the season against Kansas out of all teams. Kansas.
Oh wait, Ben's post.
What did Ben say? Yes, what happens. Oh man.
One of my coworkers' son.
Ooh, that's a good take. Colorado won't win against Boise State. BYU's overrated.
BYU is overrated.
They're overrated because they barely squeaked by against Utah, and they gave the game away to Kansas, which that should have been an easy win at home, out of all places.
One game that I saw that I didn't watch the game, and I need to go back and watch the highlights. I'm intrigued to see what happened. Was the Wisconsin-Oregon game. Oregon
yes.
Squeaks by beating Wisconsin by 3. So
by 3, yeah. I need to go watch the highlights. I meant to watch the highlights too, but I didn't have time.
Anybody in the comments watched that game? Hey, let us know, man. I know Oregon had to come behind in the 4th quarter, and they had to put up some points because they were losing. But Gabriel did not look too well.
No.
I didn't speak on. I can't speak on it because I didn't watch it. But if anybody's in the comments, man, and you guys watch the game, let us know. Holla at us.
Absolutely. Big game to look forward to this week. Undefeated Indiana going to Ohio State. See the problem with barely being Utah is that rivalry game. You can't count a rivalry game as the close. Yeah, the Mormon Bowl is what we like to call it.
Which one?
That was the Utah BYU game. That was not this past week, but the week before. Yeah, because BYU had barely squeaked by that Utah.
Yeah, but then they'd lose to Kansas. So
then they lose to Kansas, exactly. So, anyways, as I was saying, huge game to look forward to this week. Number 5 Indiana visiting number 2 Ohio State. Indiana's 10-0.
This is the game, coach. Them comment. This is the game.
Comments, baby. I'm ready to fight this. I'm gonna be talking so much trash. Oh my god.
On this game? Go for it.
I'm gonna be talking so much trash. I'm gonna come in. I'm gonna fight. I got one of my coworkers is a huge Ohio State fan. I'm gonna be like, hey, let me borrow that hat for the show.
Where's Rig? Where's Rig? I haven't seen Rig tonight.
No, I haven't either.
I haven't. He wasn't around last week either.
I know he's helping. He was helping his mom, but I saw on Facebook he came back. I'm surprised he's not in here. He's supposed to be talking some shit about the game. We'll get into it in here soon, but
all right.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, Indiana Ohio State. That's the big noon game on Fox. I think also you got
BYU playing Arizona. That should be a good one. Army playing Army, undefeated Army at 18. Playing number 6 Notre Dame.
Ooh, that is a good game. I bet a lot of people sleep on that game. A lot of people probably are sleeping on that game early in the season, but now is when it matters because Notre Dame, after losing to Northern Illinois out of all teams.
Okay, hey. Why'd you say it? Don't disrespect the Huskies, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot you're in Illinois. My bad.
Beginning of the year.
Absolutely. Let's see.
Now, Coach, you did
but in all seriousness, it's Notre Dame at 6 is a little crazy.
It is. No, I agree.
It's a little crazy. That's some serious home cooking right there or something. If Army beats Notre Dame, put some respect on that name. Put some respect on that name.
100%.
I cannot wait for the Army Navy game.
Yes, that we might have to do a watch party for that game.
Brother, did you see the uniforms for the Army?
Yes.
That clip.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it right now.
Army has revealed the uniforms they'll wear for this year's Army-Navy game on December 14th. As you can see, it's an incredible all-black look. They're inspired by the 101st Airborne Division, which was also the inspiration behind the show Band of Brothers, which is fitting because this year's Army-Navy game takes place 2 days before the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge, where the 101st Airborne Division was tasked with holding down the Belgian town of Bastogne. You'll see the Bastogne patch right there. Helmets will have different card suit decals on them, so like the Spade, which was used by the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, the regiment featured in the show Band of Brothers. Also, obviously, like diamond, clubs, hearts, all looks pretty cool. During the battle, a lot of snow and fog, so there's speckles of white all over the helmet and shoulder pads to signify the snowfall. You can see the back nameplate reads Army in a unique typewriter font. This is a shout out to a one-word response one of our generals gave to the Germans when they asked us to stand down. Nuts. There's so many small details and historical shout-outs in these uniforms. I'm sure more Easter eggs are going to be coming out. But these are absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see what Navy comes out with. I'm sure they're going to drop a banger too. What do you guys think about Army's all-black uniforms for the big Army-Navy game coming out?
Those are fire.
Those are fire. Oh my God.
I ain't going to lie to y'all. I usually like Navies over Armies. This one's going to be hard to beat.
That was going to be
the hidden messages everywhere, all that stuff.
This might be the best one they have yet.
I agree. That Army Notre Dame game, huge playoff implications. Huge. It's gonna be a huge game. It's gonna be huge.
Y'all want to do a watch party for the Army Navy game?
I think we should do a watch party for Army Navy game. I'd be down for that.
I'd be down. It's a great game. It's for a good cause. Where's it? Is it being played in? Is it Lincoln Financial this year? I got it right here. It is at. I got it right here. Hold on. It is at. Where the fuck is it at? Oh, it's in DC. It's at Northwest Stadium. It's in our nation's capital this year.
Oh yeah.
Maybe
you know Navy's gonna come with some heat.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna come with some heat.
Oh yeah. 100%.
All right. Well,
all right.
I think that wraps up our take on college football. Quick little take here. We want to jump into the bread and butter. I know it's getting late, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate y'all being here with us at this late night. I turned the lights down. set the mood, get ready to get into some NFL.
Woo, let's go, baby.
Yeah, we got some
I
takes.
got some for that too.
Kick
Yeah.
it.
I'm cooking
So-
with grease, man. I'm cooking with grease.
Cook one peanut. The Gridiron
Fire.
Chronicles.
Fire.
Love that shit.
Hey, he's cooking
Love
with
that
grease. It's just Thanksgiving's coming up.
Cooking with that peanut oil, baby.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, that just gets you. If that doesn't get fired up, if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what does. All right,
man. What an interesting week.
Week
for
11.
football.
Go ahead, Sean. Just get it done. Go ahead, Sean. Sean always has to.
Hey man.
Go ahead.
Y'all still them boys.
Hey, Sean,
I already knew when he said it earlier. I knew it was coming.
Sean,
Listen.
all I'm gonna say, Sean, is I can't wait for next week. Thanksgiving. That's all I'm
What's
gonna
he
say.
saying?
He's a Giants fan.
No.
In disguise, he doesn't like to admit it.
That's like gonna watch two dudes like trying to screw a light bulb in. Like
It's like the Tyson. It's like the Mike Tyson. It's like the Tyson fight.
no, that's more exciting.
all right.
I want to go. I want to just great football was played.
You've been waiting 3 days for this. That's crazy.
Eagles beating the Commanders, I think, is one of the more notable things that happened.
Hey, did I not call that game, by the way?
26-18. 26-18 Commanders lose. Great game played. It was great ball from the Eagles, man. There was a lot of question marks behind the Eagles for me personally, and they kind of filled a lot of those questions. They kind of answered a lot of those questions, should I say. And great job, man. They have now put themselves back into that contention talk, which stay tuned, could be our contenders or pretenders this week. I like what I saw. Saquon is on another level.
He's on a tear.
I'm not trying to say he's carrying the team, but fuck, man, his back is big and them thighs are huge.
He is fucking playing, bro. This year is he is another level.
Yeah, 146 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, man. He
basically was the offense. He was the offense for that game.
Yeah. Now, granted, it didn't look pretty.
The Eagles definitely had to earn that win. They had to fight for that win.
Yeah, they got the 20. They got 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you can't when you're playing the Commanders right now. You have to be able. You have to go in there knowing you're going to have a fight on your hands.
Yeah,
the Commanders are a good team this year, so I mean, it goes to show that those are the two teams in that division right now. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
And I said it. Be careful with the Commanders. I get it. They've lost a couple here. It's a young team. Big back and big thighs. Have you seen that man's legs, dog? Them things are like tree trunks.
Shit, they're like the size of my head. Like, goddamn.
But shout out to the Eagles winning that game. Commanders fans, do not hang your head. You guys fought an incredibly talented team. That team is paid to win. That team is put money together to win. That's what they've done, and that's what they're doing right now. They're playing great ball. Commanders, y'all be careful next year. I mean, you add a few more pieces there. You give them more younger, athletic receivers. Be careful.
And Dan Quinn is a great coach.
Amazing coach.
He's an amazing coach.
With Falcons. So
absolutely. But yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The Washington defense played great that whole game. I think the 2 touchdowns they allowed Saquon to run, that's the only errors they had that game.
Yeah.
And it was a clean game overall. The only Jaden Daniels had that interception with under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. That was the only mistake that really both teams had.
Yeah.
So it was overall just a clean game. My hot take is that Washington will beat them when they come to. Will beat the Eagles when they come to Washington here in a couple weeks.
Okay,
that's a hot take of mine.
I can see that. I can see that happening.
I also see them flexing that game to Sunday night because currently that week it's the Buccaneers at the Cowboys, and no one's gonna want to watch the Dallas Cowboys playing like they are right now on Sunday night. So I think that game will get flexed, and they'll put the Eagles and the Commanders.
All right, Sean, we appreciate you, brother.
Still be getting flexed, man.
Hey, Sean, we appreciate you, brother. I'll catch you.
All right, just bouncing around here. Gotta talk about my Lions, dog.
Yeah.
Yes, I said my Lions. Listen, I'm just so happy for that team. And I've said it before. I'm not gonna go or buy a jersey. I mean, if I ever go to Detroit. So my okay, so guys, understand this. My what is it called? My tradition is whatever stadium I visit, I buy the home team's hat.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So even if I was to go to a Steelers game, I'm buying a Steelers hat. And
as a Ravens fan?
Now I wouldn't wear it, but it's like
memorable.
Yeah, it's like my thing. Like I went there, right? Like if I go to a Green Bay Packer game, I'll buy a Green Bay Packer hat, but I'll never wear that hideous ass hat.
Fuck no.
Right? No. So it's just like a thing. Like it's like a tradition that I have to buy home team hats, man. But let's talk about these.
I'll take a piece of toilet paper from the stadium and just put it in a jar somewhere. Hey, I've been
There
to
you
this.
I've been to the Packer game. But let's talk about these Lions, man. These Lions, man, they are bullying teams, man. They have been bullying teams all year long. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 52-6. They beat the Tennessee Titans 52-14, and they beat Dallas Cowboys 47-9 at home.
That's fine.
At home. So I didn't want to, I know it's a soft
You're
spot.
fine. You're fine. You're fine, man.
3 games, man. And I get it. These teams aren't good. Oh, well, they're beating teams that they should. Yeah, but nobody's beating teams that they should like that. Right? No offense to my boy E, but
We didn't even do that with Titans.
Yeah, his Vikings struggled to the Titans. They only won by 10. So, a fun fact here, man, they have the only running back duo in NFL history to each total 800 plus scrimmage yards, 9 touchdowns through the first 10 game of any season.
It's like that's a ridiculous stat.
Yeah, any season. Amon-Ra St. Brown scored a receiving touchdown in 8 games consecutive, setting the new Lions single season record. So 8 games, touchdowns.
Those boys are just having fun, man. They're just playing ball, having fun.
They're having fun, and I think they're gonna be tough to beat in the playoffs. In the NFC.
Are you ready for this last stat?
Sure.
All right. First 8 game winning streak since 1934.
Oh my God,
that's crazy.
You said 36?
1934.
34, even crazier.
1934. First 8 game win streak since 1934. Shout out to the Lions, man. That's all I really got for that game. Don't care about the Jaguars.
I have one thing.
They suck.
I do have one thing.
Fired dumbass.
Why the hell is he still there? Why is he still employed by the Jacksonville Jaguars? He should have been fired the minute the plane landed back in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
After that whooping, I thought for sure we were going to get news.
Mac Jones sucks as well. He sucks.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's bad.
I mean, I guess it's cool because that's where he grew up and blah, blah, blah. But
who cares? The city of Jacksonville run him out that city.
Yeah.
So
that's my game of the week for me, realistically.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
Coach, before we get to your game, I want to touch on the Packers Bears real quick because my God, is this Chicago's Bear team cursed?
That it's wild.
I mean, they had everything there for them to win the game. Caleb Williams finally drives down the field, Packers really did not play a good game overall. They just did not look like the Packers team that they looked awful, and they did not deserve to win that game. I will keep saying it. I will say it 50 more times. But my God, a blocked field goal.
My only thing I got to say to this, and I'll let you go for it. They should have never got rid of Lovie Smith.
Thank you. My step uncle, who's a diehard Bears fan, he was just dumbfounded when they got rid of Lovie Smith. It's insane.
Yeah, 90 years, dude. You put the math together. 90 years is a long time.
90 years is crazy. But Cairo Santos, my God, they're saying he's like one of the most accurate kick. Someone said he was the most accurate kicker in the NFL because it's no longer Justin Tucker.
Yeah, no, it's not. But he's also Justin Tucker has like 400 attempts.
Yeah,
and this kid only has like 100. So it's like, yeah, you're the most accurate kicker in the NFL, but you've had
congratulations
a quarter of the attempts that Justin Tucker has done.
Right. But Chicago, my God. That is rough.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to be a Bears fan. And my dad's a Bears fan, but he doesn't watch this show, so sucks to be you.
Definitely.
This
Which sucks because NFC North, they're going to be a conference. They're going to be a conference to watch though. Here coming towards the end of the season.
I saw somebody do like one of them TikTok meme shits, and it was like a Packers fan, a Vikings fan line. And they were all partying in the car, and the guy, the Chicago Bears driver, was just driving with a mean face, like looking at him like, just fucking stop. It's not fun in here. Just fucking stop.
I mean, it's like I don't want to speak on them, man. I gave my take on the Bears last week. They fired the offensive coordinator. They just have like this bad luck
curse.
Bears stuff curse, and I think it all stems from when you fired Lovie Smith when you shouldn't have. You moved on way too quick.
You get rid of David Montgomery.
Yep.
My God, look what he's doing now.
Like I said, when that happened, I as a rival was like, "Thank you, get him out of here." But then he went to another fucking rival.
Indeed.
David Montgomery traded. He's like, yes, to the Lions. Oh well, the Lions kind of suck. The Lions kind of suck. So okay.
I wasn't really that mad at the time, but now I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Thanks, Bears. Way to fuck that up.
Yeah, it's
you dropped the bag on that one, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well,
oh man. Well, hey, while we're in the NFC, I was gonna say while we're in the NFC North, why don't we hit the let's get that SKOL chant going.
Yeah, let's get the SKOL chant going.
We can do it, baby. A little something new, a little something different.
Tight. I love it.
I like that.
Love it.
But yeah, man, I mean, it's just another week of, like I said, I mean, did we get the win? Yes. Did we play a little bit better than we played the previous week? Yes. But we're still just having a hard time finishing our scoring drives on struggling teams. So it makes me nervous when we're about to hit this division gauntlet that everybody hits towards the end of the season. It's like we have a tough division, and it makes me really nervous to go into it because our defense keeps finding ways to win us games. They're finding ways to make big plays, but they're not playing four-quarter football either. So it's like, when is there going to be time for us to put all the pieces back together? We were playing great ball in the beginning, and I said it last week, and I'm saying it again. I'm just not confident in Darnold right now. I wasn't really confident going into the year because he's always had highlights and it has good times. But my fear is that when we get to that playoff run, he's just not going to be able to produce, and we're going to get knocked out early. and that's not something I want to see because our offense, when you think about it, our offense should be scary right now. JJ, Addison, like Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, like we have a lot of threats, and we're just not. We can drive down the field. We're doing great getting down the field. It's just getting that ball in the end zone.
Right. So here's my question though. You're not too happy with Sam Darnold, but fuck that backfield, man. 64 total yards.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones with 39 yards, and you had Cam Akers with 25. And I'm not going to include the quarterback because I don't really like including the quarterback in rushing yards. I mean, that's like his own stat, I would say. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I mean, and we know
it still counts, but it's like that's like his own stat.
It's different when you're talking about a Lamar or a Jaden that they're doing design running plays,
Right.
but Darnold's just scrambling for his life when he's running.
Right.
He's not running because it's the design run.
And I get it. He didn't look great, Sam Darnold. I'm not trying to defend him, but he didn't have the best. Between both running backs, man, they averaged about one averaged 2.6 yards, and the other one averaged 2.5.
Honestly, right now, our backfield this whole season hasn't been very good. Honestly, Aaron Jones is a threat in the passing game more than he is the rushing game.
Okay.
This
Well, I
year.
was gonna say, wasn't he playing hurt as well? He was playing hurt this week, right?
This man always, I mean, I wouldn't use that as your excuse. So you put the pads on, you better be ready to play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right.
But at the end of the day, like I said, it's sad though because that is one thing that we are lacking is a good rushing attack. Like I said, because Aaron Jones this season, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't looked at the stats and the numbers, but just from the feel of what I'm getting, he is more effective right now in our passing attack than the rushing. When he has had numbers.
Yeah, because he's part of those, screens or RPOs.
He also runs routes.
Right.
So I mean, he's always been a good receiving back. He has good hands. But I feel like if I had to guess, he would be more effective in that sense than the rushing game.
So, looking at this, you guys just played
the Titans. So looking at
you only
your
had
opponent's
one
schedule.
reception that game. The Jaguars, you had 2 receptions. The Colts, he had 4. Rams 2. So not really. Not since you guys played the Packers in September 29th, he had 4 receptions. Then before that, the Texans with 5, and then before that with the 49ers with 5. But the Jets 1, Lions 3, Rams 2, Colts 4, 2, and then 1 reception. So,
well, what's his yards look like compared to his rushing yards? That's what I was more or less looking at. Like,
it doesn't.
Is it
have
get
it on here.
where is his?
I can pull it up. Hold on.
While he's pulling it up, Vikings schedule coming up. They got the Bears this upcoming Sunday in Chicago. Then they got a Cardinals team who's playing really good football. And then after that, it's the Falcons. So that's their next 3 coming up. And then they have the Bears.
It just
after
depends
that.
on which Falcons show up, really.
Yeah.
It's like you,
Right, Coach?
you have like two different Falcons teams that show up each week. It's either they fucking look like an elite.
Hey, let's relax.
You know what I mean?
Old
Like,
guys.
you know I'm telling the truth. It just depends on which Falcons teams come into play that weekend.
So with receiving yards, the last 5 games, he's had 12 receptions for only 95 yards. So
but
in 5, that's 5
his
games.
rushes is trash too.
Right, and then
Yeah.
in the last 5 games, he's had 86 carries for 342 yards, and that's 5 games. That's not 100 yards a game. That's a struggle, my friend.
You say he's averaging around 2.5 yards a carry.
Well, if you do the last 5 games, he's averaging 44.1.
Okay, all right.
But this is what I was talking about. So obviously he's got 692 rushing yards for the season. He has 262 receiving yards, but he's averaging 9 yards per catch, where his rushing is 4.4.
Okay,
So that's why I was saying when he gets the ball in the passing game, he's been more effective.
Yeah. So right now he's averaging 68.4 In the last 5 games, we're going 5 games here. In the last 5 games, he's averaging 68 yards a game. Not the greatest. Not the greatest.
So, do you going into the off? The season's a long way from over, but do you think in the offseason is this a matter of do they start looking for a new running back, or do you try to build them up?
We only have a 1-year deal anyway.
Oh, okay. So he's probably gone by the end of the season.
No, he needs to go. That's not a re-sign. Because if he's not, and you can give your take here, but if I'm looking at these numbers right here, it's raw. It's in my face. Looking at his numbers, looking at everything, he's not even worth keeping as a backup, to be realistic. If he's a receiving back, he's not even doing that great of a job. No. He's averaging 12 yards. If you're doing the last 5 games and you divide that, he's only averaging 12 yards a game receiving.
I would say the only way we keep him and the only way we go forward with him in our backfield is because of the culture that he brings, because everybody loves him in the locker room. But other than that, he's not going to be worth the money you pay him.
Right.
He's not going to be good. I think that they had a segment about him talking about how I think the coach even KOC even he talked about how he's just one of the best energy players to be around. He just brings a certain kind of energy to the locker room. So if we were to keep him
or something, I don't know.
The only way we keep him, though, is if he's willing to take a pay cut, and I don't know if he'd be willing to do that.
No.
Well, hopefully he's a woke person. Ugh, I hated saying that. Damn. hopefully he's aware, should I say.
I could definitely see
flaws.
I could see Las Vegas picking him up next season with
That's
their
a
kind
Las
of
Vegas thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick a washed up person.
Do you have anything else? I had something I was going to bring up.
Honestly, I didn't have. I mean, we've just.
Hey, when's a win though, right?
When's a win, but definitely. I don't know. I'm just not looking forward to when we start playing tougher teams, and just we had those losses, and we've struggled against struggling teams. I don't know, man. I'm gonna see what we do when we start having more competition again.
Definitely. One thing Coach, you were talking about Colorado earlier. Have you guys been seeing all this news BS, media BS about supposedly Deion going to the NFL next year?
Yeah, so that's an interesting take, man. We were actually talking about today at work as well that Deion in the potential landing spots are, I think Saints would make a good spot. Wouldn't have to change the colors too much, man. Keep them gold glasses still.
Yep.
Saints need a new head coach and they need a new quarterback. Dallas Cowboys need a new head coach and they need a quarterback.
They don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. The quarterback's
not going to bed, so y'all have a great night. I'll see y'all later.
Giants.
Okay.
No, we're talking about realistic teams. Realistic.
Las Vegas.
No, we're talking about realistically because no way.
Not Las Vegas.
Go to the Giants. No, he wouldn't go to Las Vegas neither. John Gruden's going to come back for the 17th time.
Get out of here,
Chucky. Yeah, there's a couple of teams, man. Man, we had this conversation. I'm just kind of drawing a blank here. I don't think he goes to the Raiders because that's not an appetizing place to pick up.
No, I mean,
you got to remember Deion Sanders. So here's the problem with him going to. Everybody's talking about Dallas. Here's the problem with him going to Dallas. Jerry Jones wants to be the superstar there, so it won't work out.
Deion, they were butt heads.
Here's the thing. So the Cowboys, they've been saying, "Oh, Bill Belichick or Deion Sanders." I say neither. Bill Belichick, both Bill Belichick and Deion Sanders, what they bring to the Dallas Cowboys is not matched. They'll work too quick. They don't have enough to work with, especially next season. They're gonna be in too much of a rush to win a championship, and the Cowboys just don't have that right now. So I don't think either of them are good candidates. If I had to pick one, I would say Deion, but I just don't see Bill Belichick being a good fit with this Cowboys team what they have right now.
Yeah, because Bill won't take shit from Jerry.
No, no, definitely not.
I just
more or
don't
less
think
Deion.
but I don't even think Deion. So that's what I'm saying.
No.
The Dallas Cowboy argument, if he does go there, it'd be a shocker to me. It would be a shocker.
It would.
But I just don't think it's a fit. I honestly see the Saints as a pretty strong front runner.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a Falcons fan.
Because Derek Carr is definitely not going to be hanging there much longer.
No.
And
Not
they're at a spot right now where they're going to be pretty much rebuilding.
They're a very desperate team, and they need the help. So
agreed.
They will take a Shador Sanders pick earlier than what he should go, and with the contention of getting Deion.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is that Jerry's not going to want to fold into getting Shador if he brings on Deion.
Yeah.
He's not going to. So, cool. So good debate on that. Ravens flock.
Let's get it. All right, y'all. It's time for the Ravens flock, man. I'm going to keep this short and sweet and simple. I'm going to keep this short, sweet, and simple. We can't stop. We got to stop beating ourselves, Ravens. We've got to stop beating ourselves. Mr. Automatic is no longer Mr. Automatic. I don't want to hear shit that the turf, that the field, blah, blah, blah. You missed 2 field goals.
He's human.
You missed 2 field goals. You make those field goals, we beat the Steelers, we go home. Okay? They beat us by straight field goals. We missed 2 field goals. It happens, right? Missed catches. Again, we're talking about missed catches. That play where Lamar Jackson is scrambling around and bought us 37 minutes of extra time scrambling, and then finds a wide open Zay.
And he hits him right in his fucking chest.
And it bounces off his chest.
Was it Zay or was that I thought it was Bateman.
No, it was Zay.
It was Zay? Okay.
I just watched the highlights to refresh my memory.
Yep, it was a crucial drive.
I remember watching that. Yep.
And stupid penalties, man. Stupid penalties. Derrick Henry would break out, run some serious yardage. Holding. Do it again. Holding. Just stupid penalties, stupid things. We clean this up, and it's not that big of a laundry list, ladies and gentlemen. Receivers, catch the ball. That's what you're hired for. Kicker, kick your ball. That's what you're hired for. Okay? No more dumb penalties. If Derrick Henry's running the ball, let the motherfucker go because it's already going to be a pain in the ass for them to tackle him. Don't get the hold. And bada boom, bada bing, we're still Super Bowl. We're still in the Super Bowl. And that's Coach Saul's Raven flock. Nice, simple, and short. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science.
I will add, y'all's turnovers were terrible that game too.
Yeah.
And a very unique thing about Lamar is I watched a thing that all of his interceptions this year have not been him throwing to the other team.
Nope.
It has been a
ripped out of the hand.
Ripped out of the hand. Everything has
fumbles the ball for the first time in 3 years. In 3 years.
The opening drive out of everything.
Homeboy gets ripped right out of his hand.
Y'all had 2 crucial fumbles and the interception where he got ripped out of his hand. And then that right there is another thing. Like you said, y'all beat yourselves. The Steelers did not
100%.
beat the Ravens.
Nope.
The Ravens beat the Ravens. I mean,
yeah.
I even rewatched the highlights just to make sure because I knew during this we would talk about, and y'all beat yourselves.
Yep.
I'm not sold on the Steelers.
And I get it. Steelers Nation's going to... No. Watch the game and be realistic. We beat ourselves.
Yeah. The Steelers didn't win that game. Steelers did not win that game. The Ravens lost that game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And borderline, and I'm not going to... And I get it. It can go either way. But Hill's forearm was on the ground, and then the ball got ripped out. Just saying.
No, you're right. You're right.
for the
I
interception.
saw that too. One last thing, along with the penalties. I thought there was a bunch of ineligible downfield penalties called. It might have been that game, and I think it might have been the Chiefs game. But there was a bunch of ineligible or like illegal. Oh, the Cowboys game was there a bunch of illegal contact penalties.
Yeah.
But yeah, that aren't the Ravens the most penalized team in the country in the league right now?
I think so.
They're leading the league in penalties, so gotta clean it up, like you said. Short and simple.
Hey man, short and simple. We clean it up, and we're making that playoff run.
Absolutely.
We clean it up. We're making that playoff run. I get it. Derrick Henry didn't do the greatest job. That is a tough defense. It is a division game. Keep moving. You clean up your play, and we're good. I'm not panicked. We're still 7-4, baby. I'm chilling.
Y'all got a pretty solid schedule coming up. You got the Chargers Monday night. You got the Eagles, and then you got the Giants.
Not worried about I'm not worried about the Chargers Eagles game. That's going to be a good bounce back game for us. I'm not worried about the Giants. That should be a smack around easy beat up fest. And then guess what, Steeler Nation, you come to us. Then we play
the Texans on Christmas Day.
Not too worried about them. Texans are so up and down, it's not even funny. And then we play the Browns, and I want my get back game.
There you go.
Nice and
there you
simple.
go. Absolutely. Coach, while we're still with you, you want to talk about the Falcons at all real quick, or nothing too much to talk about? I'm going to take that as a pass.
Rise up, or...
That rose up real quick.
Yeah, that did. Oh, Lord.
I'm not going to even talk about it. Anyways, next, let's talk about
one question about the not about the Falcons, but is Bo Nix, do you think is Bo Nix for real?
He's going to be good.
You think
I think he's showing a lot of promise right now.
Yeah.
And the Broncos aren't playing bad ball right now.
No, I think finally Sean Payton is going back to his old self.
Again, it comes down to what he said earlier. It's just what Falcon team decides to walk through the door, and that's we're in a freaking division. We're in a freaking division that anybody can. It's just fucking take control here.
Right.
The whole division sucks. You
No
beat
offense,
the
Ben.
toughest team twice in a row. Just God, goodness gracious. Who knows who shows up defensively, offensively? Bo Nix did pop off with 4 touchdowns, 300 passing yards. Good for him, man. Is he legit? I don't know if legit is the answer, but he is good. And I think for a rookie, he's doing a really great job. He's doing a really great job with a team with not a lot of crazy weapons on the offensive side.
Yeah. I will say in that game, it killed me that I start Cortland Sutton, and of course, all 4 passing touchdowns go to everyone except Cortland Sutton. So, you gotta love fantasy. Real quick, Ben had said earlier, mentioned something about Mike Evans earlier. Can you pull that comment up real quick? Mike Evans practicing this week, expecting him to come back week 3 versus Panthers. Yes, I don't think he should come back this week. Versus the Giants, it's not worth him coming back versus the Giants team.
A quarterback builder.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Mike Evans, yeah, should definitely take another week to get healthy, and then eventually make I don't know. Anything can happen in the South. Hopefully, it goes to the Falcons, but yeah, who knows? Chiefs Bills. Wow.
Thank God.
Yes, that's all we really have to say.
Thank God.
Thank you, Bill.
And the story. Don't care.
It wasn't really that exciting. It wasn't all the hype that it was brought to.
But I will say this: every time those two teams play against each other, it's always a decent game. It's always going to be back and forth.
This one didn't have to really. This one really wasn't back and
those
forth.
two teams. No, but I mean, it's something about those two teams. It's just they have their own rivalry.
Yeah, 100%. Which makes the league great. Bills come up top. They hand the Chiefs' first loss of the season, 30-21. Mahomes looked pretty bad. 23 for 33, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 2 sacks. Not good stats, ladies and gentlemen.
He hasn't had a very good stat.
Travis
anyway.
Kelsey walking off the field and doing his little clap, like, "Oh, good for you." Oh man,
he's
don't
2 for 8, 2 catches for 8 yards.
I don't want
My
to
boy.
see them make it past round 1. Please.
Well, of course they're going
His
to get
little petty. Oh, good for you. Okay.
We're definitely going to be seeing them in the second round in the playoffs again.
All right, anyways, let's move on, man. Let's move on to the Cowboys.
Still working on it. Play it again. Play it again.
Yes, sir. We still them boys. Here we go. Gotta love it. Well, listen, man, we love our community, man. Y'all are awesome, man. Thank you for y'all being here. I know it's a later episode, but we're just covering so much content. I think the conversation may need to be had. We need to go on maybe an hour earlier from here on out, just because the content that we're covering is just so extensive. But yeah, no, if you're still here, y'all, we appreciate y'all. We're finishing up, coming toward the end of the episode. We're covering the last thing here, Cowboys Nation. My boy Matty Ice, what's up?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it nice and sweet like you did, like you did in Ravens Flock. There's just not much to be said about this team. Cowboys lose 34-10 against their in-state rival, the Houston Texans. Texans obviously look like the better team.
Thank you, Joe Mixon, by the way. You helped me win fantasy.
There's just nothing. There's nothing. I can't keep going on every week and spilling out my heart about how much this team sucks. So that's why I decided to put this on. Yes,
that is true.
Yes, that is quite literally. This franchise is quite literally falling apart. Prior to the game, they had a panel fall down. I meant to share the video with you, but yeah, this franchise is just falling apart. Man. Cooper Rush, I don't know why the fuck Mike McCarthy is still letting him play. You give up draft capital for Trey Lance, number 3 overall pick a couple years back, and he's just sitting there. I really don't know what the fuck's going on there. What the mindset is there, but this team might quite honestly might lose out. That's how much confidence I'm lacking right now in this team.
But do you think it's more strategic, or is it?
No, Q, it's pretty bad. What were you gonna say, Coach?
Do you think at this point it would be a strategic loss to try and get some good picks, or like what's your drafts looking like? I don't know if you have that. It's fine. We can go over that later on. How's y'all's drafts looking like? Do you have a first round pick next year?
Next year we have a first rounder, but I mean, considering that, there's other teams that are currently sucking more than we are, it's not going to be that great. Right. I think our biggest needs going to the draft are definitely running back, are definitely going to be some offensive linemen, because Zach Martin, I'm not sure. It's really uncertain whether he's going to come back next year. Just all around the offensive line. We need more depth at D line and defensive end, because the amount of injuries at defensive end is totally abysmal this year. And linebacker as well, for that matter. Just need more depth. Like, we're fine a wide receiver. Dak's gonna be just fine. What'd you say?
If everything stays the way it is, right, and you don't win any more games, and all the other teams don't win any more games, you guys would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So damn, you guys even suck at losing.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Coach. You don't even suck at losing.
Yeah, it's just It's just this organization right now.
That was a mean thing to say. Sorry, buddy. I didn't mean that.
Hey, he said he could be a Jags or a Titans fan.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but at least the Jags have the number 1 pick, though, right now.
All I gotta say, the last thing I'll say about Cowboys Nation, Mike McCarthy the sooner Mike McCarthy's gone, the better.
I think y'all wait until the end of the season to get rid of him. And
That's the way it's looking right now. That's the way honestly it's looking right now. But something's got to change. Okay, there is one thing that came out of Monday night's game, and go and roll the clip. I tell you, this guy Cavante Turpin, he is a blessing to have on the special team. Just overall.
That was a crazy good play.
Yes, and not that it matters or not that it's going to help this team or anything, but he now holds the fastest touchdown this season. He hit 22.3 miles per hour on that touchdown run. He ran for 64 yards, and I mean, he just zoomed away. Kid's crazy. So,
well, God bless America's team.
Oh, one game we didn't touch on real quick was the Bengals Chargers. It's kind of a back and forth. That was a pretty back and forth game. But Chargers end up coming up on top thanks to J.K. Dobbins, 34-27. Ended up being a pretty decent Sunday night game, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good game.
Absolutely. We all picked the Bengals. Unfortunately, we lost that pick.
Good job, Bengals. Thanks for pooping that one for us.
The Bengals, obviously, their offense has been crazy, but they just can't win games.
Nope.
The way they're putting up yards and shit, it's just to look at their stats, you would think that they're having a winning record. Like they're going crazy, but they're just not. Their defense is trash.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that it helps the Ravens and the Steelers cause. So
okay, so my opinion on Josh Allen is still that he's just okay. I mean, yes, you beat a Kansas City Chiefs team, but that team has been struggling. I've been talking.
Still overrated.
They've just been a struggling team that's just been skimming by and getting help every inch of the way to get wins. I'm not saying he's overrated. I just don't think he's like that guy like that. I don't know.
I still stand by my talking points that he's just too inconsistent.
Yep.
He does great, but for as far as the win games, I do like the fact that now, as the team's chemistry is getting there with Amari Cooper being there, they're starting to he doesn't have to be the guy to win the game right now. And he always has to be that guy.
He didn't have a good game. He was 27 for 40.
No.
And 262 passing yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception.
All right, man.
I mean,
leave you know what? Leave this team out of it for now, okay?
I mean,
no need to keep this team in here in the conversation.
At the end of the day, it's just regular season. Let's be real.
Right. Playoffs different. It becomes a different animal.
Playoffs is different, and I honestly think we're I don't know. Maybe it's just we're not playing as good as I thought we would, but I almost feel like they're holding back for that, and then that's when they're going to make their big run. But who knows? At the end of the day, I'm just saying, man. Stats don't lie. 27 for 40. That's not a great QBR. 262 passing yards, not bad. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Well,
it wasn't until Amari Cooper, right? Amari Cooper didn't have a good game. Their number 1 receiver.
No, and you weren't. And your running back wasn't even your top rusher. It was freaking, Josh Allen was your top rusher.
Yeah, definitely. My hot take is I don't see the Bills getting past the Ravens or the Chiefs in the playoffs.
You said what?
I don't see the Bills getting past the Ravens or the Chiefs.
No, I don't think so neither.
So, yeah. Absolutely.
I definitely still think
I forgot Drax a Bills fan.
I will say I do think that the Bills are still a threat and they're still a contender in the playoffs. I just don't think they're Super Bowl contenders.
Speaking of, you want to hate pretenders versus contenders?
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, contenders or pretenders, man. This week we actually do. I know I alluded to the Eagles, but I was really going to go with the Buffalo Bills. Contenders or pretenders today are the Buffalo Bills. And at this point in time, I'm not just talking about playoffs, boys. I'm talking about making it to the chip. And they don't necessarily have to win, but can this team at least make it to the final dance? I'm going to hit it with E first. What you got, my brother?
Honestly, I think I kind of just touched on it a little bit. I just don't see that team being a Super Bowl contender. I think that they are, in fact, a pretender. I think that they're a threat to any team that they play against right now. I do see a lot of good things. Their defenses have been looking good. They're starting, like I said, their chemistry starting to get good together. Obviously, Josh Allen doesn't have to do everything by himself. He's starting to put those pieces together. Like Drac did say, Coleman was out, Kincaid was out. That's two offensive weapons that they didn't have. Like I said, I do see them being a team that everybody has to look at in the schedule and circle that, but I don't see them making the run to the Super Bowl, honestly. Not this year.
All right. So we got pretenders over here. Matty Ice, what you got, bro?
I think I pretty much hinted at it already. I think they're pretenders as well. I think just Baltimore and Kansas City are two more complete teams than the Bills are. And he kind of alluded to it when we're kind of dissecting the game. The fact that, Josh Allen kind of lacks consistency. I think it plays a big factor come playoff time. So I don't see them quite being contenders this year just yet. So that's why I'm going pretenders for now. I think they need to grow more depth at their wide receiver position for sure and gain a little more consistency.
I respect that.
So it's two pretenders.
All right, I'm going to go into it, man. I'm going to get, like I always do, let's go over some of their games that they've played this year. Looking at their schedule, hasn't been the hardest schedule. And I get it, ladies and gentlemen. They don't make the schedule. I understand that. But this is what's been presented to us.
He said cap.
Right?
Cap.
He said cap. Bills played a struggling Cardinals team in the beginning of the season because, let's be real, they were struggling in the beginning of the season. They were a team that everybody was like, yeah, they suck. Why? So Bills beat a struggling Cardinals. Bills beat a terrible Dolphins team. Bills beat a Jaguars, terrible. Ravens beat the Bills. Texans beat the Bills. Tough teams. You lost. Now, let's go down. Bills beat the Jets. Bills beat the Titans. Bills. I think this was probably this was probably one of your more tougher games. Was playing the Seahawks and beating them soundly. That was an impressive win. And I was like, okay. But then you come back and you almost lose to the Dolphins. Then you beat the Colts. And then you beat the Chiefs. We've all had kind of this opinion, and you can't tell me now. Don't come over here, Bills Mafia, and try and sing a story about how great the Chiefs are. We all know they've been getting away with murder. That team should be like almost 500 at this point. Okay? Still a good team. But if you really think about it, man, you've only beaten two good teams and you've lost to two good teams. So going down now.
I don't see that happening at all.
What happens if we beat the Lions in Detroit? You beat the Lions in Detroit, absolutely, you're a Super Bowl contender, my friend. And
I'll change my answer. If that happens, you hear right now. If that happens, I'll change my answer right now.
Yeah. All right, you guys don't have an easy schedule going throughout the rest of the season. 49ers, I'm just kidding. 49ers kind of suck. Rams kind of suck. You got the tough Lions. Patriots are just kind of mid. It's a division game, so it will be tough. You got the Jets, mid, below mid, actually. And then you got the Patriots to finish out the season. So you guys kind of have an easy path.
No, they should, besides the Lions, they have a chance to win out the season. I'm not saying, like I said,
in 5 out of 6.
Fucking lootly. But
yeah. So, with all that being said, gentlemen, I'm going to go with pretenders as well, unfortunately. They just haven't done enough with tough teams for me to sit here and say they're winning the Super Bowl. When tough teams have come and knocking on their door, they've kind of folded a little bit. And I don't know, they've only lost 2 games, and they didn't really fold against the Texans, but they folded like a wet noodle against the Ravens. It was 35-10. And the Texans, let's be real, aren't that good of a team. They are struggling bad. They don't know what to do. So
I wish Rig was in here to dissect that.
Yes.
I think we need to bring Rig on.
Yeah, we need to see what's going on with his ass. So
I'll reach out for him for next week.
Jack, hey man, listen, we love you, dog. But
hey, Drake, no hard love, man. It's all out of
yeah, we love you, brother. But I'm looking at the facts here. I'm seeing what I got.
We've already talked about the Ravens.
Oh, and there was no bias, man. And we already talked about it, but I'll quickly go over it. We beat ourselves. There it is. We missed 2 field goals. We lose by 3. We lose by what? 3 points, was it? Something like that? No, we lost by 2 or whatever. Missed 2 field goals. Miss wide open catches. Stupid penalties. We clean that up. We're good. That was my take, essentially, in a nutshell, my friend. I'm not making excuses. That is the truth. I went back. I watched the film as a coach. That's what I did. I looked at it. I was like, wow, we're stupid. What are we doing? Dumb penalties. Derrick Henry flies by you. Let go. Why are you still holding on to that person? That fat-ass D lineman is not catching Derrick Henry down the field. It's not happening, okay? I promise he'll be okay. And if he does, give him the ball again, because it's going to take all that dude's might to tackle him. It's simple. It's simple shit that if we can just fix it. And our pass defense looked really good. Our pass defense looked really good. Say it didn't. Okay, that was our biggest weakness, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is contenders versus. Yeah, you're good. That is contenders versus pretenders for week 12. Let's wrap it up, guys. We've been going for almost 3 hours and over 3 hours now.
Yes,
sir. If you're hanging with us, we appreciate you spending your Wednesday evening with us. Apologize about yesterday evening, but we're here to this week. So if you're still hanging with us, make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media pages. Or pretty much every page you can think of. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification button every time we go live. And we appreciate all the interaction within the community. All right, let's wrap it up with our primetime picks, guys.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's get into it, baby. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Q. All right, guys. It is week 12. This is the week before Thanksgiving. Lots of teams on buys this week, but we still have some good football to watch. Tomorrow night, it's already tomorrow night. That's crazy. Since I forgot it's Wednesday. We got a nice AFC North divisional matchup. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the Cleveland Browns.
Steelers.
Coach is going Steelers. E, what you got?
I got the Steelers, so I just feel like they're the more complete team right now.
Matt, who do you have? The Browns.
I'm gonna go Browns upset. I do this every week. But I really think that the Browns beat the Ravens back a few weeks back, and the Steelers have nothing but division games coming up. So I think this will be the week that the Steelers fold. They came off a really questionable win. They didn't really win against the Ravens this past Sunday. Working on a short week.
Browns are no Ravens, so
that is true. But Russell Wilson is also not playing. I'm still not convinced that he is that quarterback. So I think it'll be an interesting game. But I think I'll go Browns upset. I'll be that guy that says Browns upset. The Steelers are only favored by 3.5 points.
All right.
So, all right.
You got him mad about that.
He's fired up, man.
Definitely. All right, looking ahead to Sunday night, we got a pretty good matchup. We got the Philadelphia Eagles visiting the LA Rams. Start with E.
You said the Eagles versus the Rams?
Yes, sir.
Eagles. I mean, the Rams now have the Rams look better since they're starting to get their pieces back and everything. Yes, but we're talking about an Eagles team that's on a tear right now. I don't see the Rams beating the Eagles.
Coach?
The Eagles. You heard my take earlier on the Eagles. They're playing, like he said, they're playing great, and Saquon Barkley is playing on a different level right now. So, Eagles.
I picked the Eagles last week for a couple different reasons. I'll pick against them this week and go Rams. I'm just that guy right now.
Going over.
I'm probably gonna go over. That's fine because I was calculating it tonight. I'm actually Coach and I are tied right now. Our record.
Damn.
I'm not really convinced that the Eagles secondary is going to be able to handle Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I can't count on the Rams defense to stop what the Eagles are throwing.
Well, yeah, okay. They're not going to it's going to be a high scoring game though. Cuz Saquon will carry them down. Jalen Hurts he's kind of hit or miss each week. Some weeks he'll be good, some weeks he'll look really questionable. I think the Rams defense is not that great, but they'll bring a good game for sure. I think Sean McVay will kind of have a good game plan for these Philadelphia Eagles. So I'll go Rams upset against Philadelphia. Philadelphia, they travel well, so there'll be a lot of Eagles fans at SoFi. But I'll go Rams.
I think it'd be cool to go to that stadium just to
That's
experience.
Exactly. I definitely want to go there. I want to go. Speaking of SoFi, we also have on Monday night at SoFi the Los Angeles Chargers are going to be hosting Coach's Baltimore Ravens. We already know what Coach is going with, so I'll save his breath. I will go Baltimore Ravens as well. I think that they'll have a nice bounce back from last week.
Oh man, look at you!
I think they'll even though the Chargers defense is playing really well, I think Lamar is able to figure him out. So I will go.
God damn, bro.
He hates the Ravens.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. So I will go Baltimore Ravens.
I was just being honest. I looked at this shit. Whatever.
Right. I will go Baltimore Ravens on Monday night. Who are you going with?
You know what? I'm gonna shock y'all here.
Go fuck yourself.
I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens. You know, I think I'm gonna go.
I was about to say.
Can't choose another purple team, right? You get your other purple team.
Yeah, I'm not. I got Ravens in that one. I don't see the Chargers being that team right now, and I think that the Ravens are gonna think the Ravens are going to pull back and do what they do best.
My apologies. I forgot to introduce. This is the Harbaugh. This is against the Harbaugh brothers.
Brothers are going at each other right
now.
now.
So that's the reason why they probably put this up for Monday night, because they wanted to see the ratings for the Harbaugh.
All right, so this is me a good one. That's right. I forgot his brothers with the Chargers. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that's about it.
Absolutely. For those
I want to do. I don't know if Courtney's in here, but I want to do a quick shout out to Courtney. My boy E told me she got a little promotion job to be in the what was it, head cheerleader for the Pop Warner team or something like that.
The whole president.
Wow,
president, all that shit. Yeah,
look at you, Courtney.
So shout out to you, Courtney, man. Congratulations.
I think she might have passed out on us tonight, but yeah.
No, that's cool, man. Just tell her to run it back literally at the end of the episode. She could hear me.
Yeah, shout out, Courtney.
Shout her out. We appreciate it.
Hey, if you've been spending your Wednesday evening with us, we greatly appreciate you. We've had a lot of, like Coach said, we've had a lot of content to go over tonight. So we'll work on cutting it back, but we got to make sure we got to hit everything.
Yeah, man. We went from boxing to
UFC
to basketball,
NHL, baseball. We hit everything outside of college basketball. That was the only thing we didn't touch today. So
absolutely. So,
but Coach does have a special clip that he asked us to reserve for the end of the show tonight. Unfortunately, when I went to go save it, I got the first piece of it, so I'm not fully surprised. I didn't watch all of it, but I have an idea where it's going.
Okay,
and this is gonna be fucking hilarious.
I'm sending y'all off with this. Y'all have a great night, by the way.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Run it.
As hard as she could, and she went all in. Myself? So can you not get my ass? Thank you. Sorry.
Run that back one more time.
One more time. As hard as she could, and she went all in. Myself? So can you not get my ass? Thank you. Sorry.
She said thank you.
Thank you. All right, you guys have a great night. We'll catch you guys next week.
We appreciate y'all. It's been a long one.